doing?
I was feeling nostalgic today, so I decided to check in on America's first super soldier, Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton is a man who needs no introduction. He's like a real world Captain America. He is Steve Rogers. He was injected with a serum that gave him the power of freedom and the power of marketing. He's the spokesperson for Bell and Howell for their tactical line of products. I'm sure you've seen their commercials over the last like 5 or so years for their tactical products that air on TV. It's very much like the cliche as seen on TV infomercials. Nick Bolton is basically Billy Mays if Billy Mays was capable of eating a smoothie of nails and grease while also simultaneously snapping the necks of over 5,000 terrorists with one arm tied behind his back. Nick Bolton is a G.I. Joe patriot and also a big fan of tactical as seen on TV products.
I'm Nick Bolton, and these days...
Hey there.
Hey there. It seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses.
Good morning.
Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these.
I'm extremely thankful we're finally living in a utopia where all of us are sporting our tack glasses. I fear without them, our species would have been lost long ago. But I do want to say that I feel pretty bad for Nick Bolton here at the beginning of this infomercial. He just can't even be out in the middle of the desert without women coming up to him trying to small talk and flirt with him, or dudes walking their dogs coming up being
very
thankful,
tired
saying,
today.
I appreciate you fucking my wife the other night. Like, he just doesn't have any time to himself because the tack glasses are like a sodden panty magnet. And then, of course, you have that one guy who's not wearing his tack glasses who was wandering the desert, damn near perished, because you don't want to be caught outside without tack glasses, but luckily, Nick Bolton was nearby.
Well, I'm just very tired because of work today. We were very busy.
These new glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. And watch this. When you don't need them, the lenses flip up and out of the way. Then snap right back into place when it gets bright again.
Absolutely genius engineering. I have no doubt Jimmy Neutron whipped these puppies up himself. That is revolutionary. That is what it means to innovate in the sunglasses game. Tack glasses is already completely...
Well, we were down today. We were doing maintenance, so we were doing a lot of greasing machines,
UV beams, and of course the
changing hanger bearings, things like that. Just normal maintenance stuff. We had to change hammers on the hammer mills.
And they've reinvented the wheel again by flipping those bitches up. So you can wear your normal glasses and then put the tack glasses on top of them and just flip them up when you don't need them. But trust me, there's going to be so many tactical situations that are going to arise in your day-to-day life. You're not going to want to flip those up. You're going to want to stay in sport mode with those tack glasses down, just in case you encounter a tactical situation.
Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible.
Now, I've made a couple videos on Nick Bolton and tack glasses before.
Yeah, I saw that.
A new evolution of the technology.
Yes, I already made you moderator.
Technology, which does more than just filter out light. It also filters out 5G radiation as well as terrorism. But now that you can flip them up and down, you have so much more versatility for your tactical situations. Now, they gave you a little sneak preview of some of the magic that it's capable of with the invisible trucks that were going by. They had the active camouflage cloaking technology engaged. Well, no more will you be a victim of this kind of, sorcery. With the tack glasses, once they're down, you can see everything. You can fucking see into the future.
But don't take my word for it. Check out what these people have to say. Take a look at the screen and tell me what you see.
Nothing. Just blank.
Well, you can switch back to Twitch if you want.
Nothing.
Flip down those tack glasses and look again.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. There was nothing, and then it just appears an American eagle.
It's absolutely insane.
Can you read that fine print on the bottom right there?
Land of the free and home of the brave. God bless America.
God bless America is right. I want to take off my fucking hat and do the Pledge of Allegiance right now. This is the big selling point of the tack glasses. Not only does it offer unlimited protection from pretty much anything the world could throw at you with tack impactful situations. But you get to see these little hidden Easter eggs in the real world, like the American eagle on a blank screen. There's so many secrets that we're surrounded by, and we're only one tack glass lens away from seeing everything. So this is a very patriotic moment, honestly. Like, I was pumping my fist excited that they were still making these tack glasses commercials. This is a pretty new commercial. They're still pumping these bad boys out. And it still feels just as good today as it did 3 years ago when I first watched it at a Beef O'Brady's bar. It's so nice to see that shit where they just look at the screen and it's like, oh wow, it's an American Eagle jump scare here, holy shit. And I love their reaction to reading the land of the free and home of the brave. God bless America. Brother, I couldn't have said it better myself. Partner, these tack glass flip-ups are the real deal.
Whether you're on the trail or on the golf course, on the water or on the slopes, with flip-up tack glasses, you'll always see clearly without any glare. There's just nothing like them on the market today. There you go, buddy. Thanks, Nick.
He gets the tack glasses and immediately stares at the sun because not even the sun is a threat to you anymore. You could go up there and fucking fist fight that thing, give it a titty twister thanks to the tack glasses protection. Now hold your horses there. What if I told you it gets better? What if I told you there were more blessings from Bell and Howell's tack glasses Department of Scientists? What if I told you there were some tack glasses elite? The next generation.
Has this ever happened to you? You're in a hurry, you're distracted, and then there goes another pair of sunglasses. Hi, Nick Bolton here with the answer. We call them Tack Glasses Elite.
There isn't a number high enough to calculate the amount of times that I have sat down on my sunglasses and tactically annihilated them. So luckily, the Tack Glasses Elite are here to solve that problem. They're so fucking elite that Nick Bolton himself had to abandon his mission in an active war zone and scoot his Humvee on over here in order to tell us about these Tack Glasses Elites.
Like our other tack glasses, these feature Bell & Howell's amazing lens technology that enhances colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and blocks blinding glare so well, hidden objects become visible once again.
These things are so powerful that they can actually spawn in fish to an empty pond. The beautiful thing about the Tack Glasses Elite is that they're always showing you the truth, so when you're looking into a body of water, you can see all of the fish.
Are you comfortable?
And they're begging to be caught. There's no such thing as a body of water without fish in it. That's anti-American propaganda. The Tack Glasses Elite are actually injecting pure freedom and truth into your eyeballs.
But these tack glasses are even more amazing. You can twist them, you can step on them, and yes, even accidentally sit on them, and they always spring right back into shape. The secret is the special composite frames. So durable, it can survive getting run over by my 6,000-pound...
Oh, yep.
It's actually more impressive that they were able to withstand Nick Bolton himself twisting and turning them, fucking working them like a Thanksgiving turkey. He's been able to handle the Tesseract barehanded. That's a man that could dip his hands into a volcano and feel nothing. His hands are so powerful, those fucking bear claws, if he can't rip them apart, nothing can. I don't care if the 6,000-pound Humvee couldn't damage them, the fact that Nick Bolton couldn't do it is far more impressive to me.
But that doesn't impress you anymore, does it? So, we need to go bigger. And to make things really interesting, let's add a few other brands to the mix. Here we go! As you can see, this 10-ton troop carrier just destroyed these other sunglasses. But our Tack Glasses Elite, still in one piece and ready to wear.
Holy shit. Anything is possible. Science said it couldn't be done. But science could have never predicted that someone...
Oh, they're
like Nick
fighting right
Bolton
now.
could
It's
exist in our world.
Buddy's not fighting
Maybe
back.
Science just hasn't caught up to what Nick Bolton is capable of producing.
Now that's what I call military tough. Okay, what else? How about freezing them in a block of ice? No problem. Boiling them in 212-degree water? Good to go. Okay, but what about smashing them with a sledgehammer? Barely a scratch. I mean, there's just nothing like them on the market today.
Completely indestructible. You couldn't blow the Tack Glasses Elite up with dynamite. Now, this protection may not always extend to the wearer of the Tack Glasses, like, if you got hit by a sledgehammer, your glasses would be fine, but you probably wouldn't be. If you get frozen solid in a block of ice and then thaw it out 1,000 years later, researchers are going to be far more happy that they're able to preserve some Tack Glasses Elite. And if you're boiled alive in 212-degree water, your tack glasses will float to the surface and at least we'll be able to recover those. Like, you know, like, you might not make it, but you can at least rest easy in the afterlife knowing that your tack glasses did. But yeah, I love these infomercials. I haven't checked in on these tack glasses in so long. It's actually heartwarming to see they still make these fucking things. So these are actually pretty modern commercials for the tack glasses product. And that whole line of tactical products is actually still booming, I guess, because they have so many now. Significantly more than they did a few years ago, I feel. So I'll probably check in again in a couple days for more tactical products because these put a big smile on my face. So incredibly silly. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So yeah. About 4 months ago, I was eating at the bar at a Beefo Brady's, and they were playing a tennis match. I'm not much of a sports guy, but when I go to bars, I like to pretend that I am, just so that way I blend in and they don't sniff the gamer on me and start beating me up or something. So I was getting all excited about this match, and then it cuts to a commercial, and I got fucking hyped when I saw this shit. This is a tack glasses commercial, and it is one of the most patriotic things I ever saw in my fucking life. Damn near busted out of the bar chair and started doing the Pledge of Allegiance to this bad boy. This shit is so patriotic, it should replace the Star Spangled Banner. Instead of doing that, we should just go ahead and play the tack glasses commercial from now on.
Everybody has sunglasses, but most sunglasses make things darker and are useless when it comes to blinding glare. Not these. Nick Bolton here with the lens from Bell & Howell.
Just his name alone is perfect. Nick Bolton. That's like an actual G.I. Joe name. Cobra Commander's got an evil plot up his sleeve, but Nick Bolton's not gonna let it fly. Like, Nick Bolton is a name you hear and immediately think of like some high-octane shit, like Triple X doing backflips off a dirt bike and then parachuting down with a parachute made out of the American flag. Look at this, he's even blending in, letting you know that it's tactical. His fucking shirt camouflages himself with the cactuses behind him.
We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses can do things no ordinary sunglasses can do, like block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible.
Now, I can't say for certain that putting on tack glasses will turn you into an American hero, super soldier, or anything like that. I don't think you're going to become Steve Rogers just because you're wearing a pair of tack glasses. I also really like this shot right here. It's like the trucks were using cloaking technology, like they picked up the Halo 2's active camouflage and just hit the fucking road just to cause some chaos. But thanks to the tack glasses, we were able to see right through the cloaking technology.
Enhanced colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions.
They uncovered the tack glasses like some kind of Egyptian relic. Like this guy here was just exploring the desert looking for buried treasure, but instead found something far greater.
Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. But tack glasses improve optical clarity, so you can see clearly even in low light.
This is when the commercial really started to hook, line, and sinker me. This is when it started to actually sell me on the product here. If I only had a nickel for all of those tactical situations I find myself in without the proper equipment, I'd be a rich man. I don't know who this is supposed to appeal to. Maybe like paranoid people out there. They'll watch this and be like, shit. Oh my god, all of those sticky tactical situations I found myself in. I have night vision goggles, I have infrared scanning, but I don't have tack glasses. Maybe with these I can finally catch my neighbor red-handed when he's spying on me through my window when I'm changing my boxers in the morning. It's such a goofy thing to throw in here because the majority of people buying these glasses are just going to use them in the car. I don't think they're necessarily planning for a doomsday where they're walking around the desert and need them for a tactical situation where they're being spied on by a man dressed in fishing attire using binoculars to look at them. It's not really a selling point that people at a Beefo Brady's are going to hear and go wild for, pumping their fist. Yeehaw, finally! A pair of glasses that's going to give me the competitive edge when I'm wandering around the desert playing hide-and-seek with my friends.
If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? Look again as we hold up our colorful American Eagles revealed. Amazing.
Now this absolutely is amazing. You can look at a computer screen and see a colorful American Eagle. It's like magic, but a lot more patriotic.
I see a white screen.
Now we're gonna do our song. Whoa, this is cool.
How tactical is that shit, huh? Someone could be hiding a colorful American Eagle right in front of you right now and you wouldn't know it unless you had tack glasses. You fucking idiot. These poor fools had no idea that just behind that computer monitor laid an American Eagle, but luckily the tack glasses are like a dimensional portal to the realm of pure freedom. It's like a crystal ball for your eyes, but all you can see inside is a colorful American Eagle, baby. And what else do you need?
How did you do that? That is so awesome.
What? Oh my. Whoa. That is so cool. That is amazing. How to do that? Like, an eagle pops out of nowhere. That is cool.
The testimonials don't lie, pussy. That's right, you too could see an American eagle at a computer monitor with the right pair of glasses. And these are real reactions. You can tell because this is how I reacted when I was a kid that got a Christmas present I didn't really care for. I had to pretend that I kind of liked because my relative that got it for me was sitting right there. That's the vibe I'm getting from these actors here. You know, hey, can you just try and be excited? Like, things like a wow or a ooh or something, please? You need it for the commercial. So they're out here doing their best like, oh, that's amazing. And I respect that. I do respect that. But if they really wanted to impress me at the Tac Glasses headquarters for this commercial, what they would have done is brought these people over to the computer monitor, and when they put on the Tac Glasses, instead of revealing an eagle, it revealed Nick Bolton's cock. Just a giant dick pic of Nick Bolton. That would have been impressive. Yeah, that's just about it for the commercial. I just fucking love this commercial. I saw it a few months ago and I forgot about it, but I was going through my phone closing old Safari tabs. I had one tab open for the Tac Glasses commercial, so I rewatched it today. And I had that same jubilation and smile on my face that I had the first time watching it at the bar. Truly just an incredible commercial of freedom and just red-blooded patriotism. Just great shit. The Tac Glasses truly are the glasses for any tactical situation. That's it, see ya. I don't know what it is about chairs that compels people to constantly reinvent them by creating these batshit insane ideas one after another. It seems every month there's a new horrible chair design. Ah, this one's made out of sawdust. You sit on it and it'll help your posture and also reduce body odor and combat swamp ass. I just made a video on a shitty chair design not too long ago, and now there's an even shittier design.
I have never been out of the United States.
Which these awful chairs are being produced. So this is the anti-man-spreading chair, and Mashable says it's absolutely brilliant. So if Mashable says it's brilliant...
However, I have visited over half of the United States. Yep, I've been all over this great country.
It's basically a timeout chair for middle school. I'm surprised they don't put a dunce hat on the guy that sits in that. Just look at the way he's sitting. He looks depressed. He looks very scared, shy, like he's about to be beaten by his wife over there. Banging his knees together and his balls are fucking constricted, and if he moves around it's gonna be like a Newton cradle in his nutsack. This is just not a very comfortable sitting position for most men. If you took his pants off right there, it'd be like Homer Simpson strangling Bart Simpson if Bart Simpson was his nutsack. His testicles need room, and the sack needs room, otherwise everything gets strangled and uncomfortable. That being said, the men that flail out their legs...
I've been to half of the United States.
Assholes, but it's not just a man problem. Women do that same thing too. It's not exclusive to one of the genders. Anyone can spread their legs out, taking up way too much space. I don't know why all of a sudden it's been named after men. It happens for all genders. How socially inept are people these days? This isn't a solution to anything. The solution for someone taking up too much room is politely asking them, hey, can you scoot over a little bit or not take up this much room? A conversation with someone is typically enough. Unless you're squaring off with fucking Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe who happens to be man-spreading on your subway, then yeah, maybe he won't budge, but most people aren't opposed to moving their legs a little closer together if you nicely ask them to. But to say they need to curl up into a fucking fetal position little ball sitting down like this chair makes them, that's not exactly considerate because that's super uncomfortable. The nutsack needs a little bit of room, which is why the legs typically get spread out a little bit.
Yeah, I might.
You see, if I saw a dude sitting like this with his hands on his knees and shit like this, I'd assume...
I've always wanted to visit Lithuania.
...concealing a deadly weapon down there that he intends to use. It's a suspicious-looking posture in seated position for most men. All curled over like that, looking all proper like they're at the bottom of the pyramid on a cheerleading team. It just doesn't make sense because no one's going to willingly sit like that because it is uncomfortable. And also, this chair doesn't help with the issue of spreading your legs too far, both men and women, because you can just rest your legs on top of it. It's not that high. Unless it's coated with barbed wire and broken glass, it's not going to hurt you that much. It's just it's a useless invention. I don't know if they plan on selling this. I didn't bother looking into it more. I imagine they will try and sell this as like a novelty chair for someone who thinks they're fighting some noble fight against the man-spreading menace, the epidemic of legs spread out too far. But it's still, no matter what, even as just a one-off thing, just a fucking dumb idea. And this is where I get totally lost on what their idea is here. They make the kryptonite to their own chair with a man-spreading chair that teaches you to spread out further than you need to. I don't know why they say only women can use it. I don't see some type of biometric lock on it that's going to prevent a man from sitting on that chair and spreading out. And I don't know why you'd be teaching people to spread out if what you're trying to stop is the spreading out. I guess they just want the women to be the one to spread out, which I don't fucking get at all. If I was a woman, I would be genuinely offended and insulted that this product exists because it treats women like they're too fucking stupid to know how to spread out. So instead they're gonna charge you to buy this chair to put a little fucking wood block where your vagina is, so that way you spread your legs out. Fucking charging you money for man-spreading training wheels. It's embarrassing. I just really don't get it. Again, I don't know if this is something they're trying to sell or not, but my god, even the fact that they invented these two prototypes is just insanity, just straight fucking lunacy. You don't say. I mean, it won't even act as a band-aid on the problem, and it's not a problem in the first place, it's an imaginary problem. There's not some type of fucking pandemic sweeping the world where men are spreading their legs out across the entire fucking row of chairs or across the whole subway doing full-length splits. And you can ask someone to scoot their legs in closer if you need the space. I don't think there's going to be many people that are rolling up their sleeves ready to fight you because you asked them to scoot their legs a little closer in. It's fucking ridiculous. And also, Mashable sucks. I hate this trend where they bold random letters, so they bolded forever and man-spreading. It's like they're subliminally trying to send me a message telling me to keep man-spreading forever. It's not a problem faced by only women. In fact, it's not a problem faced by many people at all, but it's not exclusive to women when there's someone spreading their legs too far. That affects anyone that wants to sit around the area. Yep, just absolute garbage, but hats off to anyone that wants to pay for some of these bad boys. You know, maybe I'm wrong and this will catch on huge and I'll be going to a restaurant and I'll have to ask to order the man-spread-proof booster seat. Or I'll have to take like a driver's ed course of man-spreading, learning the proper ways of sitting using these chairs. It's just an unbelievably ridiculous idea for a product and just a big old pile of shit. That's about it. Yeah. It's no secret the world is a divided place. Not everyone can agree on the same things. That is, until early 2017 when a product known as Juicero hit the stores, and everyone of all ages, every corner of the globe came together and in one unified voice said, "What a piece of shit." It's been 2 years since the common enemy Juicero was defeated. 2 years since I made the video talking about the Juicero. I also made a follow-up with the creator, what he's doing, how he's poisoning himself and others with raw, untreated water. So basically he's just a cholera dealer. He just distributes that to dumb people across the world. But what I haven't touched on is the products that aim to mimic what the Juicero did. Today we'll be talking about the Cleanest, which is a Juicero for soap.
Cleanest, a revolutionary system for mixing your favorite products with an easy-to-use appliance, concentrated ingredients, and reusable bottles.
For those of you that aren't familiar with the Juicero, who didn't achieve enlightenment in 2017 with the product, I'll go ahead and put it in a little nutshell for you, a tight little nutsack. The Juicero was basically pre-packaged things of juice and a giant $400 machine that would slowly squeeze the juice into a cup underneath. But all you needed to do was just squeeze the packets yourself to get the juice out, because it was literally just juice in a bag that would squeeze through a small opening. It was really fucking stupid. And that's exactly what the Cleanest is, with a couple extra bells and whistles, and it probably tastes better than the juice Juicero shipped with.
Just add water from your own tap, and at the press of a button, you mix up products that are better for you and better for the planet. Why? because you make them yourself with naturally derived ingredients in these beautiful reusable bottles that will eliminate hundreds of single-use bottles and help shrink your carbon footprint.
Basically, what you're paying for is a machine that squirts water and prepackaged soap into a bottle and it stirs it underneath. It also gives you the ability for some DLC,
Did
some fucking EA
you just
loot box
sneeze
style
on my arm?
fragrances that you can buy for extra
You just
and
sneezed
squirt
on my
into your
arm.
soap to make it feel like you did a little more with the
It's
soap
wet.
making process than just press a button and have water squirt with your soap.
You
It's
just
remarkable
sneezed
and
on my
useful
arm.
because you're just buying
Oh,
prepackaged
my-
soap and having
was
it
gross.
stir it for you. There's nothing that would stop you from buying that soap, putting it in a bottle yourself, and then pouring hot water in and shaking it by hand like a fucking caveman. But the creators of The Cleanest thought of that. They said there's no way the human touch could possibly get this much viscosity when it comes to mixing these together, as if that really fucking matters considering it's just soap and water getting mixed by a little fan. Looks like just one of those fans children would walk around an amusement park with to squirt themselves with water and blast a little air in their face. It's not exactly the most heavy-duty industrial fan or stirring procedures. It's not that complex, it's just fucking useless.
And the coolest part is that you save money because we're only shipping necessary ingredients in minimal packaging.
No, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'll tell you the coolest part. If you pledge $5 to this Kickstarter, you get nothing. You get absolutely fucking nothing. Also, spoiler alert, I don't believe you would save money using this product. The packages that you have to buy individually come at $3 to $6, and they don't give you a whole lot of bang for your buck. They give you like 2 tiddlywinks worth of soap, which would last you maybe a week, as opposed to the fucking kegs that you can buy at Walmart and Costco full of dish soap. More dish soap than you could ever imagine. More dish soap than God planned to exist.
Ingredients pouches are delivered directly to your door. You load them into the appliance along with an empty bottle. Select the mix type, and Cleanest does the rest. In 2 to 3 minutes, you have a perfectly mixed product that is ready to use and guaranteed to work.
Who gets this excited about soap? Look at this guy. He's full of just straight jubilation. He looks happier than hearing impaired children getting hearing aids for the first time. He is loving this fucking soap.
We launch with a complete line of 10 everyday products. Even quick ones you probably never thought could be easily mixed at home. All products will be available in either free and clear or naturally scented with botanical extracts and oils. If you're feeling creative, you can even personalize the free and clear concentrates to mix your own scent creations.
That's right, baby. Be your own chemist. The sky is the limit. There's no end to the creative flavor combinations
Do it.
you can create with these
Watch out, I'm gonna
fragrances.
mush ya.
Only if you're using our fragrances, though. But I swear to God, if you're using some other fragrances that aren't ours, it will turn this soap into hydrochloric acid. It will just straight up fucking explode. If you drop any other fragrances, a third-party fragrance, into our Cleanest soap mixture, yeah, no, you're gonna be using our products, or else you're gonna pay the ultimate price.
Cleanest was co-founded by 3 brothers who spent most of their careers on the inside of the packaging and ingredients industries.
Holy shit, the Gunnia family is behind this? Well, now I'm sold. My goodness, I have to buy it now with these 3 brothers. Now, I'm sure you don't need me to whip out the ruler like a Catholic school teacher on the desk and tell you exactly why this is a bad product. I think it's pretty clear to most people why this is useless. But I'm going to go a step further into something you probably didn't think about when watching this. This harps on being very good for the environment, very green, but I'd argue quite the opposite. This is far worse for the environment than going to a store and buying your soap. And it's not only because you're paying over
What do you-
$100 for this overpriced piece of plastic that doesn't do anything more than mix water and fucking prepackaged soap for you. The main problem, is their idea where everything is reusable, but it's used through the mail. So you get your pouches mailed to you, use them, and send them back through the mail. Do you see what I'm saying here? That's a lot of fucking gas getting that to and from your place of residence. Plus, since you're not getting a whole lot of soap, you're going to be doing this a lot, as opposed to just going to the store and getting a giant fucking oil drum longer than these pouches will. It costs the environment a lot less in the long run. I won't lie and say I'm shocked that this got more than double its funding. This is the exact kind of trendy shit that people love. You know, oh, I'm gonna make my own soap by squeezing 2 rocks together and then dumping a little bit of basil leaf in there. Oh, that's gonna be the perfect soap. It's gonna be great. I understand why it's not a green product. It's not a useful product. This is just a shit product that emulates what the Juicero did, but for a different market. And we all saw what the Juicero was. And that's the exact same with the Cleanest. That's it. So yeah. We're certainly living in the future these days where all of our products are considered smart products, meaning they all have to be connected online via Wi-Fi, and you have to register them with a valid driver's license, fill out a survey, sign up for a newsletter. Got goddamn smart condoms coming next, I'm sure, where you have to be connected online at all times, otherwise the condom shuts down and it won't stretch so you can't fucking use it. This product is not a smart product. It will allow you to sit anywhere, but not comfortably. So this is a wearable chair. It just is two little legs that you put on your ass cheeks, and you sit down, folds out, and then you kind of have to get into a pseudo squat to balance yourself. It kind of looks like you're balancing on two pogo sticks, or they kind of look like the legs of a robot stripper, you know, like wearing fishnets. They could have at least made the legs kick out and look kind of cool, but it just looks really odd. Maybe the Battle Angel. It looks like his asshole blobs. The design is an extension of your body. If your body is made out of PVC pipe and bubblegum, I suppose. This is also going to be the most uncomfortable bus ride of his life. He can't sit down wearing this. He's going to have to be standing. Though I suppose he could go full douchebag mode and just pop a squat in the middle of the aisle, giving the middle finger to everyone else on the bus. Go full douchebag life. He can't TV7. It looks like his asshole is dual-wielding the 007 Clobs. The design is an extension of your body. If your body is made out of PVC pipe and bubblegum, I suppose. This is also going to be the most uncomfortable bus ride of his life. Mode and just gadget. And here's some stains. Gone. Clean and dry. Now I hope you got your
What a somber day for America, everybody. Literally everyone is crying right now due to the somberness of America. Ilhan Omar is likely getting deported. Ilhan Omar, everyone's favorite Somalian congresswoman, deported. It's truly a sad day for everyone. Especially Ilhan Omar. And I think, honestly, we have nothing to do but thank Charlie Kirk for kicking her ass from heaven. So, first, I gotta show you this clip, because this is what got people to start talking, and it gets even funnier.
I just think it was the video where it called him Dr. Frankenstein and said his monster shot him through the neck. I mean, obviously this is a person, and looking at this is someone who was a husband and a father, and in the days after his shocking death, what happened as a result of his views or his views publicly with people, that people found it jarring to hear such criticism of that in the immediate aftermath.
What I find jarring is that there are so many people willing to excuse the most reprehensible things that he said, that they agree with that they're willing to have monuments for him, that they want to create a day to honor him, and that they want to produce resolutions in the House of Congress honoring his life. And
he was a wonderful man, fought for God, fought for what he believed in. He was right about most of the things that he said, and most people could agree. Literally, fuck you, but anyway, continue.
Legacy. It is one thing to care about his life, because obviously so many people loved him, including his children and wife. But I am not going to sit here and be judged for not wanting to honor any legacy this man has left behind. That should be in the dustbin of history, and we should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
He said hateful things. You should be in the dustbin of history, says Ilhan Omar, whose Prophet Muhammad married a 9-year-old. But again, like, dude, literally, what are we even fucking doing? Like, what are we fucking doing? Like, it's crazy! It's crazy, dude! A 6-year-old, sorry, he only had sex with her when she was 9. He married her when she was 6. Then he had sex with her when she was 9. My bad. No, but, like, dude, literally, what are we fucking doing? Anyway, says this hateful bitch. Hateful bitch be like, yo, says the hateful bitch. Super important to recognize he said hateful things, so therefore he should be in the dustbin of history. Now let me make this clear. Do you know what the killer, the Charlie Kirk, do you know what Charlie Kirk's killer actually said. Charlie Kirk's killer said that the reason why he assassinated him is because he was hateful. You realize you used the same verbiage and terminology as the murderer of Charlie Kirk. And you really wonder why he got killed? So anyway, a lot of people were a little bit upset about this, which is very funny, because she deserves to. She should be deported for multiple reasons. So anyway, everyone's looking into her now and trying to find this. So this guy, Dr. David Wood, he dropped fucking straight, like, holy fucking shit, he murdered her. We're not gonna talk about that. But my favorite part is like, you're saying that he said hateful things. He said hateful things. We should put him in the dustbin of history. All right. Well, do you consider this hateful? Somebody reads passages from the Quran for like 5 minutes.
Few passages. We'll start with the Quran. Surah 98, verse 6. Verily, those who disbelieve in the religion of Islam, the Quran, and Prophet Muhammad, blah, 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 from among the people of the scripture, Jews and Christians, and al-mushrikun, mushrikun are people who associate partners with Allah, will abide in the fire of hell. They are the worst of creatures. Jews, Christians, and other non-Muslims are the worst of creatures. We're lower than pigs, according to the Quran.
Oh, wow.
But Surah 3, verse...
Look, man, I'm not trying to insult anybody or anything. Like, I would think that that's hateful. Me, personally. Not trying to insult any Islamists here. I personally would find it hateful.
110 says that Muslims are the best of peoples ever raised up for mankind.
Wow, that sounds like
Muslims are the best of peoples.
Wow.
Non-Muslims are the worst of creatures.
Oh.
Surah 5.
Look, man, I'm not gonna say that that's like a supremacist religion or anything. Like, I wouldn't say that. But you sound like you think that should be in the dustbin of history.
Verse 51. Oh, you who believe, do not take the Jews and the Christians for friends. They are friends of each other. And whoever amongst you takes them for a friend, then surely he is one of them. Surely Allah does not guide the unjust people.
Again, not trying to say that immediately categorizing all Jews and Christians as arch nemesis that should get killed. I'm not saying that that's hateful. But you probably would be saying it's hateful.
Muslims aren't allowed to be friends with Jews or Christians. Surah 48, verse 29. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and those who are with him are severe against disbelievers and merciful among themselves. Oh. Muslims are severe against non-Muslims and...
That sounds like rules for thee and not for me.
Merciful only
say that this is hateful.
Themselves. In Surah 9, verse 29, Allah commands Muslims to fight those who do not believe in Allah, nor in the last day, nor do they prohibit what Allah and His Apostle have prohibited, nor follow the religion of truth, Islam, out of those who have been given the book. Those who have been given the book are Jews and Christians, until they pay the tax in acknowledgement of superiority, and they are in a state of subjection.
Again, you can watch his full video if you like. He basically spends the next 5 minutes straight up reading passages from the Quran, essentially saying how, like, here's one chapter about how, here, this one I think is, it is a little bit relevant, especially to Ilhan Omar specifically, because I think, you know...
Since women are intellectually and morally deficient, according to Muhammad, they should simply be married off when they're extremely
That's what Muhammad said.
Young, so they can be fully controlled by their husbands. Sahih al-Bukhari 5133. Notice the chapter heading. Giving one's young children in marriage is permissible. Why? By virtue of the statement of Allah, and for those who have no monthly courses, i.e. they are still immature. Surah 65.
That means younger than puberty.
Verse 4 of the Quran. And the iddah is the waiting period for passing a girl on to the next man after you've married her and had sex with her.
Okay.
For the girl before puberty is 3 months in the above verse. Yes.
Again. Thinks that Charlie Kirk should the dustbin of history because he said certain hateful things. That's the context here. I think context is important. So that's the context. Now, currently, there's a bit of a discussion on whether we should be deporting Ilhan Omar. I firmly actually agree. I think we should. I think everyone that literally comes to the country and tries to fucking destroy the West because they hate it, I think they should be deported. But this is the second clip of Ilhan Omar about Charlie Kirk. This is her going to a church. I don't know who invited her to a church, but this is her going to a church. I'm pretty sure according to Islam, you're not even allowed to enter churches. because according to Islam, you know, Jesus is a false god and stuff. But you know, anyway.
Those of you who are interested in rewriting this hateful man's history are full of shit.
So she goes to church to call Charlie Kirk full of shit in the church. You know, so anyway, that seems like, look, I would think that that's hateful and should be in the dustbin of history, but I guess some people don't see it that way. Now, Ilhan Omar has been in a long time crusade against white people. This is like the Ilhan Omar special. Right, so this is her talking about how America's become one of the worst countries on earth.
To be coming out of our country, I mean, I grew up in a dictatorship.
Right.
And I don't even
Somalia.
remember ever witnessing anything like that.
All right, so America's worse than Somalia, according to the lady from Somalia. You're welcome. We're giving it back. You're welcome.
To have democracy, a beacon of hope for the world, to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the
America is one of the worst countries. Literally get the fuck out. Why are you here?
Military are in our streets.
Bro, you would not be able to be talking like this in Somalia.
Without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade.
A military parade. The worst country on the planet.
It's really shocking, and it should be a wake-up call for all Americans to say this is not the country we were born in. It's not the country we grew up in.
It's not the country you were born in.
This is not the country our founding fathers imagined. And this is not the country that supported our Constitution, our ideals, our values.
She saw that the guy was actually elected by the majority of the country. Imagine being this retarded.
And we should all collectively be out in the streets rejecting what is taking place this week.
We should go in the street and reject the Constitution that, you know, supports the fact that, you know, Trump was voted by the majority as the president of the United States. You hate us, you hate America, and this sounds like violent insurrection language, I'm not gonna lie. I would put her in the dustbin of history personally. But now, one of the big twists that happened recently is there were a lot of people that were talking about how Ilhan Omar got into America illegally by illegally marrying her brother. All right? Marrying her brother so that she could get a fake marriage certificate and get into America. This is a conspiracy theory for a very, very long time. Pretty fucked up. So this guy, Brian Steen, he decided to tweet a picture of Trump. Let's see what Trump had to say. Ilhan Omar, country of Somalia is plagued by a lack of central government control, persistent poverty, hunger, resurgent terrorism, piracy, decades of civil war, corruption, and pervasive violence. 70% of the population lives in extreme poverty and widespread food insecurity. Somalia is consistently ranked among the world's most corrupt countries, including bribery, embezzlement, and erectile dysfunctional government. All of this, and Ilhan Omar tells us how to run America. P.S. Wasn't she the one that married her brother and then against citizenship? What scum we have in our country, telling us what to do and how to do it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. He absolutely fucking did. That's actually crazy. Holy shit, he fucking cooked my goat, my actual goat. Now, also, Trump said something else pretty funny. Well, he didn't say this, but like, you know, she's crying about statistics and feminism and random bullshit that leftoids make believe they care about. You do realize rape was legal in Somalia until 2018, right? You realize that until less than a decade ago, rape was legal. You're telling me that this shit isn't fucking cancer in America? Like, dude, come on, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So Brian, Trump is not a racist. Come back. Ilhan Omar never married her brother. It's a blatant lie. Gentlemen, what did happen? Steven Crowder decides to drop a fucking nuke. Look at his shit. Oh lord, this went super fucking viral. He pulled this up. Steven Crowder exposes the marriage application, the marriage certificate between Ilhan Omar and her brother. We now have verifiable evidence. Ilhan Omar did marry her brother. This is the truth. He released it, and people went fucking nuclear. Nuclear! People were losing their mind. They were like, holy fucking shit, this is crazy. So she literally did marriage fraud, according to this, according to my understanding, to get into the country illegally. So not only is she anti-American, fundamentally, not only is she out there basically kind of secretly nodding to how murdering Charlie Kirk was a good thing, not only is she out there smiling and laughing about political assassinations, her people to fucking riot in the streets, but marry your brother to get fucking into the country? Get in a fucking So Trump is on board of the deport Ilhan Omar situation, and I fully support it, because I do think we have a radical leftist cancer in our country, and it needs to be removed. We need a fucking chemotherapy this year. So, actually, in the video, Ilhan Omar cheers Charlie Kirk's murder, where apparently he goes through it. So lock in, boys and girl. This is going to be really fun.
What I do know for sure is that...
Oh, this person talking to Ilhan Omar, this is Mehdi Hassan. He is also a terrorist supporter. One of his most infamous tweets that he has since deleted was "Make American planes crash again." See if I can find it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is one of those tweets that he's deleted because obviously people found this pretty offensive. You know, make Americans planes crash again. Definitely a good look. But anyway, so he's another one of those terrorist supporters. Anyway,
you know, Charlie was someone who once said, you know, guns save lives. After a school shooting. Charlie was someone who...
Charlie, even now, after being shot, would still, if he was alive today, support guns. Dude, like, literally.
Willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd.
Downplay? Debate and downplay? Literally... First of all, wipe that smug grin off your face, you bitch. Second of all, literally, what are you even talking about? You're not allowed to debate George Floyd? Fucking saint, literal saint status for this guy?
He called him a scumbag.
Right.
He was a scumbag! He was a career criminal! He robbed the pregnant woman at gunpoint! He resisted arrest and he was a drug addict! He literally was a scumbag! Yeah?
Have no regard. Downplay slavery and what black...
Didn't downplay slavery.
People have gone through in this country by saying Juneteenth should never exist.
Where's the lie?
And I think, you know, there are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate.
True.
A complete rewriting of history.
Yeah.
You literally went to college campuses to just talk to people and they murdered him. Then you have retard and wumbo retard, left and right, arguing about how I can't believe we're rewriting history by making believe he wanted to talk to people, when in actuality what?
There is nothing more effed up, you know, like, than...
She cannot contain the grin on her face that Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Than to completely pretend that, you know, his words and actions...
What actions?
Have not been recorded.
So the character... Like what? Literally like what? Bro, they just fucking sitting there running their fucking traps on this shit. Literally, what are you talking about? Anyway, she married her brother.
Assassination of Charlie Kirk has continued post the actual assassination at the hands of a left-wing radical who, again, according to his parents, had been radicalized by left-wing LGBT ideology over the last year. And of course, this expands beyond all the way to members of Congress and
TikTokers are making fun of Charlie Kirk's murder as well.
Members of the mainstream media. In fact, at the time that I'm recording this video about Ilhan Omar, right now in this very moment, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is for quote mining Charlie Kirk, for lying about Charlie Kirk, for taking him out of context deliberately so.
Because that's what they're doing here. A lot of people say that no, they're just discussing his opinions and perspectives. They're not. They're not. This is a lie. And they're literally all liars. Okay? I think it's important to know. Vicious, evil, dirty liars. Okay? Every single one of them that is doing their best to paint Charlie Kirk as a evil guy are all silently condoning and justifying his murder. And they want you to die. For you as well. You. Hey viewer, sitting on the toilet watching this video right now. I know what you're doing, bro. You get all embarrassed and I call you. I know what you're doing. They want you dead too.
Despite the fact that these people are saying, oh, we condemn political violence. Portman, the lady from
all do this. They all fucking do this.
Remember, her, we're definitely condemning all forms of political violence. The fact,
even though that
that they double down and keep pushing the idea that Charlie Kirk said these things that he either never said, or of course they're removing all context from after his assassination, is a way to signal their base that they actually agree with Tyler Robinson when he said some hate can't be negotiated with. A perfect example of this,
they're on the same page. They fucking want you dead, man.
Is Ilhan Omar, who has been on an absolute tear against Charlie Kirk. Now, always gives the caveat that if you pay attention to what she's actually saying, it's that, oh, the right is responsible.
Dude, they literally do the Hassan Piker playbook. They all do the Hassan Piker playbook. Every single one of them. All right? They will sit here, all right, and they will say that, oh, we don't endorse violence. Most violence comes from the right wing. Right-wing people are actually the violent people. Charlie Kirk had it coming. What they're actually doing is signaling their people to kill more people. All right? Obviously, you could argue that that's a bad thing. Back literally tell you and open your eyes.
For political violence. In fact, she retweeted a video that referred to Charlie Kirk as a terrorist that also, in that same video, by the way, put the responsibility for his own assassination on him, because this is exactly who these people are. And this is what we're going to talk about today. Ilhan Omar going on a tear against Charlie Kirk, all because she didn't like the fact that he criticized her, that he didn't believe that she was very pro-American, based on the reality that that is 100% true.
He's done.
That, I want to thank everybody who supports.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. Charlie Kirk popped off on Ilhan Omar, and I will be reposting his fucking messages. Holy shit, will I be reposting his shit when Ilhan actually gets fucking deported? It's horrible. Because Charlie Kirk actually did say, like, we need to deport him. You know, man, we should do it for Charlie. We should do it for Charlie. Do it for Charlie, baby. Do it for Charlie. Holy shit. Someone just sent me this clip. Ilhan Omar didn't just make reprehensible comments about Charlie Kirk's assassination. She shared a disgusting video claiming Charlie had it coming. Wow.
Account about just a few days ago, a member of Congress of this body, Ilhan Omar, shared a video on her social media account about Charlie Kirk's murder. And I'll quote what it said. It said, Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein, and his monster shot him through the neck. In other words, Charlie had it coming to him. The words that he said naturally led to his assassination.
That's crazy. I can't believe
I mean, that is a reprehensible thing for a member of Congress to say, to suggest, to promote in any capacity. And there are people across this country who are losing their jobs for far less than this. And that, by the way, is a just response to acceptance and tolerance of political violence.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Right winger. Okay, I'm logged into my anonymous alt account that I set up with a burner phone that I bought with cash. Time to post Ilhan Omar is stupid. Left winger. Okay, I'm logged into my public LinkedIn profile. Time to celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. True. So I actually responded to Ilhan Omar on Twitter because she's retarded. So Ilhan Omar's like, data isn't vibes. If you need vibes, check out the hate-filled comments the right wing will leave on my post and all my posts. And she posts this this graph. Look at this graph over here. Extremist linked deaths. No numbers, no metrics except right wing, left wing. Wow, look at that. Right wing, left wing. Now, obviously, these are lies. Obviously, these are complete and utter lies. This is, like, not even true. First of all, source ADL. They include every single white guy that commits a crime. They count it as right-wing extremist. But George Floyd riots and everything else, that doesn't count as left-wing violence. Of course, obviously. So she posts this. So this is a fucking kindergarten graph. So I feel like my response was absolutely diabolical, and it's why you should follow me on Twitter. Because no one on Twitter is quite as hilarious. So I respond with this. Data isn't vibes. Us, you, few, many. You're up here, and we're here. Okay, alright, listen. So that's what I responded with. Listen, data isn't vibes, Ilhan Omar. Put the fries in the bag, bro. Go back to Somalia, okay? Put the fries in the bag. So anyway.
This channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
How cynical is it for big name figures on the right, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, many others, Nancy Mace yesterday, saying this is a Democratic Party problem, as if people like you are not getting death threats.
Make American planes crash again guy is shocked that the Democratic Party is the violent one. It is a Democratic Party problem. Holy fuck.
All the time, credible.
Dude, since Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a radical leftist, people, defaced monuments, committed Fox News fans, fucking impersonated police officers to sneak into vigils, were armed, shot up the ABC news station. A Palestine guy went into a restaurant and murdered a wedding and murdered somebody in New Hampshire, like a anti-Charlie Kirk guy. Like, dude, I could keep going. The left killed Charlie Kirk, and the left responded with violence. What the fuck? It is a one-side issue. Yes.
So, of course, Ilhan Omar ends up going on Zateo, which is Mehdi Hassan's new outlet.
Yeah, Mehdi Hassan is a terrorist supporter.
That he's at, and I will remind you guys out there in the audience that Mehdi Hassan, despite the fact that he's condemning Charlie Kirk for all...
They're all, by the way, cowards, all right? They literally are fucking cowards. You know, they're fucking lying, lip-servicing cretins. Like, these people will go out and be like, I condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk. But anyway, these are all the reasons why it's justified. I condemned it. Why are you complaining? It's like, please, dude, get the fuck out of here.
His hateful commentary actually revealed who he was and had to apologize for it when he was doing an interview, and he actually revealed his thoughts on non-Muslims, comparing them to animals, talking about how they're subhuman.
Wow, this really is becoming a Muslim. Oopsie.
And all those different various things.
This idea is totally against Islam. In Islam, what is halal is halal, what is haram is haram. We do not value our law, our morality for our short-term aims. Never. And we never lose the moral high ground. If we know anything of Shia Muhammad, as Shia Ali, as Shia Hassan, as Shia Hussein, we know that keeping the moral high ground is key. Once we lose the moral high ground, we are different from the rest of the non-Muslims. From the rest of those human beings who live their lives as animals, bending any rule to fulfill any desire.
So I'm not saying this, but I've heard other people say that the moderate Muslims are used as a way to open the door for the radical Muslims. Now, I don't say that, but I've heard other people say that. This motherfucker literally just shows up. This guy's claiming that Charlie Kirk was a radical, and he fucking straight up opens the door, takes a microphone, and says non-Muslims are animals? Bro.
Once we do that, we are lost.
So the idea that this guy, who does not have clean hands at all, is going to throw shade at Charlie Kirk is patently absurd and ridiculous. But, of course, he gives the setup that Ilhan Omar receives death threats as well, and I want to make some...
These people are all fucking losers. I get death threats too, okay? Can you stop with the fucking victim? Dude, I don't know anyone that starts as much shit and yells victim like the unholy alliance that's going on the left. All right, I don't know. I literally have no idea. They will fucking kill you and say that they're a victim. Well, literally, what the flying fuck, man? Holy shit. This is a problem, bro.
100% clear, and in unambiguous terms, those death threats are completely unacceptable. Again, Charlie Kirk, who we're talking...
Yeah, no, obviously, I'm not telling anyone to harass anybody. Don't harass anybody. Do not commit acts of violence. The fucking shit is terrible. It's awful. I actually do believe in keeping the moral high ground. But, like, dude, literally, this is insane. Insane! Hamas started a war against Israel on October 7th, and Hamas immediately called it a genocide against them. They came into Israel, 1,400 people, they immediately said there's a genocide, we're being genocided. Literally, what the fuck are we doing? Like, dude, come on, dude. Holy shit. A trans person shoots up a church. Trans person says, I am the victim, actually. I am the victim. They're trying to trans-genocide me. They're fucking trans-genocide you. Get the fuck out of here, man. Holy shit.
About today like to keep everything within the realm of debate and speech. Now, of course, Ilhan Omar and Mehdi Hassan, they want to keep it in the realm of defaming and, of course, excusing violence. That does not mean that we operate like them, and that does not mean we become them, because guess what? These are people who don't give a damn about the United States of America, and if you want to honor Charlie Kirk, then you should actually honor the values of this.
And you know, it reminds you that all these people pretend to be adults, that they are, you know, they think a lot less than even children when it comes to compassion, when it comes to thoughtfulness, when it comes.
Bro, look, I'm not trying to be rude here, but according to the Quran, you are an unintelligent buffoon that should not have a position of power. According to the Quran, I personally would never say something. But according to the Quran, Like, dude, can we fucking stop, man?
Comes to being a leader, you know, I did expect the president's address to would have been a lot more
both sides.
Passionate filled. It would have been less partisan.
So this was recorded shortly after.
Both sides, everybody. Have you forgot about both sides? I can't believe Trump didn't condemn the right wing after a leftist killed Charlie Kirk. I can't believe Trump didn't immediately go out there and say, damn it, I can't believe the right wing would be so violent. Wow.
Charlie Kirk's death before we knew the ideology of the shooter. And
come on, please. Literally, fuck you, bro. Not you, actual justice warrior, but fuck this entire narrative. We knew it. How is it possible? Every normal human being knows that the person that goes and murders the most prominent right-wing voice that's reaching across the aisle, engaging in conversation, is gonna get killed by a leftist. Literally, everyone fucking knew this immediately. Every normal human being immediately thought this. All of them. The media wasn't sure. The media's a fucking incompetent nincompoop cesspool of retards and bitches. And of course, Candace Owens blamed Israel because everything's Israel. If the Jews invented dinosaurs, then yeah, the Jews could do fucking everything. But like, dude, come on, bro.
And of course, they are putting out the narrative. And by the way, this 100% worked. That we have no idea, but it's very likely that the shooter was in fact right-wing.
Yeah.
And by the way, when we go over the video that Ilhan Omar retweeted the day after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that very same video will make that case and of course put the responsibility on Charlie Kirk. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But I just want to point out that Ilhan Omar is about to defame somebody who is assassinated for speech while she's talking about compassion with Mehdi Hassan, who quite literally has stated that he sees non-Muslims as subhuman. Again, really great people that we're going to be taking advice from. Really honorable folks right here to teach us a lesson about compassion. And by the way, Ilhan Omar is the product of compassion in the United States of America. She is a refugee.
She owes everything to America. Literally, she owes her life to America. What an ungrateful bitch. It's unbelievable.
Who was rescued from a refugee camp by this great country, and she uses the gifts that were given to her by the United States of America to attack everything about it
and try to destroy the United States of America. Let's be real. That's what the left really wants. It really wants the downfall of Western civilization, right? That's why it's like it's all anti-white. It's anti-colonial, anti-white, anti-settlers, right? It's everyone's a fucking oppressor and everyone is a colonizer. You're all evil. You need guilt. Black people were in slavery a few hundred years ago. Like, it is literally all that. To be clear, it is literally all that. It is anti-West. I don't think anyone that wants the downfall of the West should be in the West. Because, bro, if you think that your third world is better, you should go back, bro. You literally should go back.
Again, tacitly approve of political violence through defamation after the fact.
He doesn't even know who the assassin is for him to say wing lunatic. I think it kind of denigrated his status and the status of the office he holds.
So again, as the left is as people are celebrating all over TikTok.com, as the left is trying to paint the narrative that is a right-wing person, as the left is ignoring evidence in order to do so to such an extent that more people in this country right now think the shooter was right-wing and a Trump supporter than what he motivations were. Ilhan Omar is calling out the right for jumping to conclusions. Again, these people were doing the same exact thing. These people...
That's why I don't care. All right, that's why you can literally all shut up. All right, that's why I don't care. If there are so many people that think it was really a right-wing guy, why even engage in these conversations? I'm sorry. Literally, why engage in conversation with people that are anti-reality? The first thing you need to do is recognize that we're living in the same universe. Only after you recognize we're in the same universe, we can actually engage in a conversation. If you don't agree that reality is reality, you can literally get fucked. I don't want to have this conversation. You're gonna fucking call me a fascist? A fascist? You don't even know what the fuck fascist means or how to spell the word? You're gonna call me a fascist to justify my murder? Literally, but you don't know how many genders there are? You could literally get fucked, okay? We're not living in the same reality. I don't care about your opinion. Did you not get the memo? Your words mean nothing.
Not only did that before we knew who the shooter was, but they immediately flooded the zone after the fact, and it's so effective that most people, or the plurality of people, believe that the shooter of Charlie Kirk, one of the most prominent folks in the entire country, happens to be absurd, insane, completely hypocritical. But let us get into the defamation.
But what I do know is that, you know, Charlie was someone who once said gun safety after a school shooting.
So again, you will know that these
the talking points are so
used by the very same people that are justifying and laughing about the murder of Charlie Kirk. He once said, "Guns save lives." Why am I bringing up that right now, one day after
saying dude, we have to stop doing the they don't mean it fake. They're using code words so that they could get out of trouble, but we have to start giving them trouble. These people, but this is evil and it needs to be destroyed.
He was shot, if not to tell you that Charlie Kirk kind of had it coming. Charlie Kirk kind of deserved it. In fact,
look, did you see the tweet of someone saying you killed the moderate, now you get the radical with Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, I saw that. I replied to that tweet actually. Hold up, that was a banger. There's a lot of people have been saying that about Charlie Kirk, radical, which is true, by the way. But I actually responded to that. So, celebrate Kimmel's suspension. Kimmel was the moderate position. As we know. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
On Omar, again, we will go over this, retweeted a video that made the case that Charlie Kirk created the circumstances he was murdered on his own. It was his fault. Who is behind it? When in reality, what Charlie Kirk was saying was that, yes, some people die in the United States of America as a cost of the Second Amendment from gun violence. That there are a bunch of defensive uses of firearms in the...
By the way, this is just completely true. A lot of people are retarded. A lot of people are really, really retarded. Guns obviously kill people. Guns are killing good people. Like, I do think that the balance is there, and also I think it's incredibly helpful. There was some way that more people could actually, like, guns can't go to fucking crazy people. You know, like people that are on high amounts of medication. Like, I'll give you an example of what, in my opinion, is the best guns in a population that I've seen from countries that I've visited. Israel, basically every single person went through the army. Basically every single person, because it's a, you know, mandatory service. So everyone goes through the military in Israel. So basically, after you're in the military for 3 years, right, your required military stint, they know if you are mentally sound enough to have a gun. They know that if you're a crazy person. And for the record, that's why there's almost no shootings in Israel that aren't actual terrorists that imported guns from neighboring countries that tried to kill people. Aside from that, there's basically no shootings. And everyone has a gun. Everyone has a gun. Highly armed population. Holy fuck, it's important, man. It is. It is. It's great. Anyway.
The United States of America. And in fact, if you take one of the most conservative estimates...
You know what would be great, dude? Okay, dude, this is gonna get crazy. In college, they should have gun courses. Or in high school, they should have gun courses. Like, people should actually know what the fuck they're doing with the firearm. I don't know. I feel like it's important. And also, if someone's obviously fucking mentally insane, and, you know, for whatever reason, the psychologists think that it's too unhealthy for them or whatever, because they're on medications and stuff, then, I don't know, maybe they should get, like, a little red box, a little red tick next to their name. But, dude, it's crazy.
Mints of defensive...
Yeah, high school. Yeah. Maybe even high school. Yeah, I think high school. I'll be honest.
Use of firearm per...
Not that they should own a gun in high school, but, you know, an actual class for it. Like, dude, come on, that's way better than gender theory.
Year from the National Crime Victimization Survey, we actually only are looking at categories of non-fatal violent crime like rape, sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated assault. And guess what? If you add up all of those defensive uses, you get 70,040 per year of defensive uses of firearms. Now, of course, simple assault and a bunch of other crimes not covered by the survey, but that's pretty substantial considering that 70,000 number is actually higher than the total number of gun suicides and gun homicides in the United States.
Dude, the suicide metric is fucking retarded. Because if someone really wants to kill themselves, they could kill themselves even without guns. To be honest. So, like, using suicide as metric for gun violence is really retarded.
per year. And what Charlie Kirk was essentially saying is much in the same way that we have car accidents in the United States of America and they kill people, we accept that. Of course, we try to minimize it.
True. No one says ban cars, there's car accidents.
Consequence of the advantages that we get from being able to drive cars. Again, if he died in a car accident, would you say, oh, he was pro-car, he thought driving actually helped this country, he didn't want to prohibit?
That's why it's such a retarded argument.
People from...
The gun didn't shoot him himself, all right? The gun did not operate in a vacuum.
Driving, therefore, he deserved it. No, absolutely not. But it doesn't stop Ilhan Omar for doing it right here.
Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd in the hands of Minneapolis police.
Oh no, he was willing to debate and downplay the
death. Oh my God, debating? We should shoot him in the neck for something like that, right?
Of George Floyd. How can we do that?
Well, let's kill him.
To our greatest patron saint in the entire country,
crazy,
George Floyd. Oh dear God, how could we possibly live with that? Again, it is perfectly valid to debate the circumstances.
I cannot believe Fentanyl Floyd was taken out that way. Again, I'm not even telling anyone that they need to celebrate or, you know, I don't want your sympathy. I don't want you to cry that Charlie Kirk was killed. I literally don't. I don't need anyone's sympathy. All right? If you hated him, that's fine. But if you want him dead and you supported his murder, then you'd kill any of us. We can't fucking live with you in society. I'm sorry, but you're gonna get destroyed.
George Floyd's death. In fact, that was the issue that was brought up at trial, whether or not cause of death was the knee on the neck as asserted by the prosecution, or it was the fact that George Floyd swallowed a bunch of drugs that, by the way, were in the system at the time that he died, plus all the different various shenanigans that went down during his court case, and of course the public pressure that was put on the jury. But setting all of that aside,
I think that they should get a retrial. Chauvin should get a retrial for sure. Like, yeah, it's crazy that we're doing this, man. See, I don't like presidential pardons in general. I think that they're fucking slimy as shit. But dude, this man needs a retrial, bro. Because he was a violent guy, obviously. He had many cases of violence. But bro, he's not a fucking murderer. He's a guy overdosed while resisting arrest.
It's about the downplaying of the death of George Floyd. It should have been downplayed because guess what? Even if you believe that George Floyd was choked to death or asphyxiated or whatever by Derek Chauvin, that is an issue among the Minneapolis Police Department for them to address and adjudicate. And by the way, Derek Chauvin and the other officers were all convicted. I don't know why the NYPD, the police department in my city, ended up having to cut its funding when neck restraint has been banned by the NYPD since 1993. I don't know why. We had a bunch of different criminal justice reforms across the country based on this one incident. I don't know why we over-highlight the around 9 unarmed black people that are killed in police custody each and every year, especially when most of them are actively trying to arm themselves with the police officer's gun, or they are driving a car at the cop and are clearly and obviously presenting themselves as a clear and present danger to police. So yes, 100%.
Dude, you know the best thing, man? The best thing ever introduced ever in the history of time, literally ever? In my opinion, body cams. Body cams ended BLM. BLM cannot compete with body cams. Now that we see, like, literally every single time that it becomes like some national issue, every time we get the footage, it's self-defense. Holy fucking shit, it ended the entire movement. It ended the whole fucking movement.
And we should have downplayed it.
What happened to BLM? Body cams. Now we know that the police aren't racist dirtbags and they're acting in self-defense. Wow, crazy.
You people overhyped it, and the destructive path that followed in this country, the 30% year-over-year...
By the way, every single person that acted violently in the George Floyd riots, every single one, all of them, literally every single one, all of them, without a shadow of a doubt, was doing an act of political violence, of leftist political violence, and not a single one was ever counted, not even one was ever counted, for the record, as in the statistics. So fuck you all.
Trump in homicides and all the other negative consequences.
That's right. The LA riots, the anti-ICE riots, the BLM riots, the Free Palestine riots, all the criminal shit that happened in all of these, none of it was counted as political violence. It was counted as just, oh, see, somebody went off and did a thing that was wrong. Yeah. You know your game. Your game doesn't work. Your words mean nothing. You can fuck off now. Thank you.
by the way, are disproportionately felt by the black community. We're talking about thousands upon thousands of excess deaths in this country
That's
are
right.
definitely the fault of people overhyping George Floyd.
Like, have no regard.
So Mehdi Hassan's like, oh, he called George Floyd a scumbag. And I got a question, since, you know, they're defaming Charlie Kirk a week after he was assassinated. Of the two, which one do you think is the guy who committed an armed robbery against a woman, where reportedly, during the course of that armed robbery, the 6'6" man that was involved in that crime pointed a gun at the woman's stomach? Which one of them has a long history of criminality? Which one of them has a long history of abandoning his family in order to pursue drugs? And which one of them was just speaking about ideas in the public square? Which one do you think qualifies more as a scumbag? And again, a lot of the reason why people brought up George Floyd's past is because they were painting murals and putting up statues of him absolutely everywhere, pretending like he was a saint.
right.
When in reality, again, even if you believe exactly what went down in the trial was all on the up and up, and Floyd deserved to get justice against Derek Chauvin, he deserved both convictions, in reality, the guy was bare minimum a complicated individual based on the fact that he had a long history of drug use, a long history of criminality, and of course, none of that.
Bro was a scumbag. Like, dude, everyone's playing this game. You know, every single person is playing this fucking game. They're all fucking slimy, scummy shit stains. The game is over. You lost.
That, to be clear, means that I wanted George Floyd to die. I didn't even know who he was until we...
And the double standard's insane, also. Because, to be clear, like, dude, like, even debating these points sounds retarded. Now, to be clear, what I am telling you, I want to make this clear. I'm only saying it because I'm talking to you, the viewer. I would never say this to a retard that actually engages in this rhetoric, okay? My response to you is... Charlie Kirk was a good man, a man that fought for God, a man that never committed felonies, a man that never committed crimes. He wasn't violent, he wasn't bad, he didn't resist arrest, he did everything by the book, he tried his absolute best, he gave amazing amounts of money to charity. He was a wonderful person, and they murdered him for that. They celebrated his murder, they killed him, and they justified it, and they want to kill all of you. All right, they made fun of it, but they also justified it. And they hate you also, and they want you to die as well. All right, and the response on the right was no violence or anything. The left decided to be violent. When George Floyd died, he was not murdered, according to the autopsy, which said he was a scumbag, he was a criminal, he was the guy that actually, you know, robbed pregnant women at gunpoint and shit. He was a scumbag, repeat offender person that had tons of fentanyl in his system. He died. The actual response was violent as fuck. Thousands burned, thousands stolen, looting, unbelievable amounts of filth and disgusting bullshit that happened in the country. It was all violent, abhorrent shit. And the kicker, no one celebrated that George Floyd died. All right, when Charlie Kirk was killed, the left celebrated. They celebrated and they found excuses to justify it. When George Floyd died, it wasn't celebrated that he died. No one wished and prayed for his downfall. No one said you should kill his wife and children. No one said kill more of the black people. No one was saying that fucking shit. And if someone did it, it was a very, very tiny, whiny minority. The response to the violence, in retrospect, after all of the fucking unbelievable amount of vandalism and rioting, after all of that, people started saying, yo, you are literally turning a scumbag into a saint. That's when the scumbag narrative really started. After the response was lifting him above them as a reason to commit acts of violence. Okay? This is another universe entirely. Alright? Another universe completely. That's what I would tell you if anyone actually asked me in good faith the difference between George Floyd and Charlie Kirk. There were George Floyd statues. They were not vandalized, even though he was a fucking scumbag. And he caused the country to get burnt down because of all the retards. Charlie Kirk's memorials immediately vandalized. Whatever. That's what I would tell you. You know what I would tell someone debating me? Someone debating me say, hey, what about George Floyd? People make jokes about George Floyd. My response would be, fuck you. You literally want to kill me. I don't care about your pedantic bullshit gotcha. There is no purpose to engage. That's how bad faith it is.
Saw that viral video, and I wish that he was alive, because the damage post his death has been absolutely disastrous all over my country.
Downplay slavery and what black people have gone through in this country.
So Ilhan Omar,
he said words you didn't like. Got it. So you're justifying his murder?
making the case that Charlie Kirk is a bad guy and he downplayed slavery, and her proof that he downplayed slavery is as follows.
Downplayed slavery and what black people have gone through in this country by saying Juneteenth should never exist.
He said that Juneteenth shouldn't exist. Charlie Kirk is downplaying slavery because he doesn't like the holiday Juneteenth. Now,
That's right. That's the level of bad faith you're dealing with. That's why even engaging in these discussions is a complete and utter joke. Saying that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday doesn't fucking make slavery less of a big deal. Like, holy fuck.
I know you guys may or may not remember this, but I seem to recall the first day that Juneteenth actually came into effect after it was passed into law by the Congress and signed by the president, where everyone and anyone was pretending that this holiday was a thing for our whole lives, and the whole process was absolutely ridiculous. In reality, if you wanted to have a holiday to commemorate the emancipation of slavery, maybe it would be better suited if you had it, to commemorate the passing of the 13th Amendment, because Juneteenth, what it actually was a regional holiday mostly celebrated in the state of Texas, because that is the day that the Emancipation Proclamation was read there, which is the last state to have it read into that state post the Civil War. But in reality, it didn't actually end slavery. But to make matters worse, and I'm certain this was Charlie Kirk's criticism of the holiday, rather than actually celebrate it as an Emancipation Day, whether it's actually the day that we passed the 13th Amendment or not,
it became more of this moral fucking slop. More moral slop, dude.
It is treated like...
It's like America Bad Day, right? Like, anyone that says America bad because of slavery, not America good because they abolished slavery, is an enemy of America. It is a person not living in reality that just hates America.
Black Independence Day, and the reason for that is because this was featured on a show called Blackish in like 2017, where it was sold to the American population as a Black Independence Day, and this is where we run into problems.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm certain
Stop,
again
bro.
that this was Charlie
People
Kirk's
suck,
primary
dude.
issue with that, because it's
Let's not downplay slavery. It's like, wow, this holiday is dumb. Wow, you're downplaying slavery? I have to start doing this to anyone that doesn't celebrate Passover. You know what Passover is? It's a Jewish holiday that celebrates the fact that the Jews were freed from slavery from Egypt. All right? 3,000 years ago. Anyone that doesn't celebrate Passover literally downplays Jewish slavery. All right? We can fucking play this game. All right? You don't celebrate Passover? Does that mean that you're celebrating Jewish slavery? Fuck, man. Like, these people are so obnoxiously bad faith. It's insane.
for us to have Juneteenth Emancipation Day on the calendar, but Juneteenth Independence Day...
Come on, whites. Why are you so cucked? Come on, dudes. Come on, brothers. Bro, fuck it, man. Holy shit. Unbelievable.
It separates out the black population from the white population, giving them their own Independence Day, and that is not good for the country. Either we have a national anthem or we don't. We don't have a national anthem and a black national anthem. Either we have an Independence Day, which we do, it's called July 4th, or we don't. And we end up with two Independence Days, which again further polarize.
Which is retarded. It's retarded. Bro, literally, it's America. This is America. Independence Day in America. She's celebrating America. Literally, holy shit.
The United States of America, and Juneteenth was passed into law despite the fact that it is a regional Texas holiday in order to again subvert our regular Independence Day, because it's called, according to federal law, Juneteenth Independence Day. This is the objection that people have against it. It's not about downplaying slavery or anything of the sort, and for people like Ilhan Omar and Mehdi Hassan, who have the absolute audacity to come after Columbus Day and try to rename it Indigenous People Day each and every October, this is even more ridiculous.
Again, they hate you. They hate you and they want you dead. If the Charlie Kirk thing didn't open your eyes, you are going to be slaughtered. Okay? If it didn't open your eyes, you are going to be slaughtered. Right? You are voting in the people that want your demise. Holy shit, they hate you, man. This is like every time I see one of those, the cucked Jews, like the woke Jews that go out there and they like support Hamas, like literally, they fucking want to kill you. They want to kill you. This is some chickens for KFC shit. Like, bro, stop. Oh my god. Oh lord. And the virtue signal shit is insane. Oh my lord.
Ridiculous. The idea that this...
Yeah, let's celebrate Black Independence Day and undo White Independence Day. Like, why are we even doing this?
Holiday that cropped up out of nowhere, again, was was brought up on a TV show and then resurrected post George Floyd is a time-honored tradition across the United States of America is absurd and ridiculous. So yeah, Charlie Kirk 100% justified in criticizing Juneteenth, and shame on.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. There's so many chickens for KFC situations in this generation. It's insane. It's like literally, where are your basic survival skills? It's insane, bro. When I see like the Hollywood virtue signaling woke Jews out there supporting us over the queers for Palestine is another one. That's another one. Holy fucking shit, man. Queers for Palestine, bro. They will literally execute you if you're gay in Palestine. Queers for Palestine. And there's the and honestly, it's the white people that are voting in all this Democrat, like, far left shit. Like, bro, white people, what are you doing? White people, they want to kill you. Okay, all right, boys, my guys, they literally want to kill you. All right, it's very obvious.
Ilhan Omar for trying to pretend that is somehow downplaying slavery. Shut your stupid mouth.
And I think, you know, there are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate.
Rewriting
rewriting history. A man having conversation. No, I can't believe you would qualify that as a man writing
rewriting of history.
Yeah, there is nothing more effed up, you know, like than to completely pretend that, you know, his words and actions have not been recorded, and
a man was just assassinated. Hilarious. Oh, look at all the leftist empathy. Do you see all the leftist empathy from this incestuous whore? Oh Lord, the leftist empathy, or lempathy as I call it, is truly astounding.
Existence for the last decade or so.
No, that is exactly what Charlie Kirk wanted. That's exactly what he did.
Look at her. She can't hold that back. Her joy that an innocent man was murdered in front of his children.
Time again for a decade, and shame on you for trying to pretend that his words have not been recorded over the last decade. And again, this is also projection, because these people cover up the things that they said in the past. Because if you actually knew that Ilhan Omar once wrote a letter in support of an American who betrayed this country.
No. Ilhan Omar asked judge for compassion in ISIS recruit sentencing. You fucking terrorist retard supporter. Oh, holy fuck, man. Dude. Mehdi Hassan, Ilhan Omar, Hassan Piker, they all fucking support terrorists. Dude, man, we gotta do something about this shit. How are people not, like, aware? Oh, my lord. Holy fuck. And then everything. I can't believe you would say such a thing. No, you just called out 3 Arabs. Are you being Islamophobic? 3 people supported terrorism. What do you want me to do? Not my fault. Holy fuck. Holy shit! Nux, you're so Islamophobic for you to, you know, acknowledge that 2 people named Ahmad both fucking bombed the Fox News van last week. What am I supposed to do? What do you want? Wait, it's not my fault their names were Ahmad. Holy fuck, man! Oh, man.
In ISIS, you maybe would feel a little bit different about taking advice from her and who she thinks might be a terrorist or violent extremist versus who she doesn't. Same thing with Mehdi Hassan, and again, his commentary on non-Muslims and how they're subhuman.
It's important for us to call them out while we feel anger and...
Call them out? He's dead. He's probably killed by one of your fans.
Sadness and have, you know, empathy, which
his empathy thing is so unbelievable. It's like, it's tryingly annoying. Like, it's actually trying. How annoying this shit is.
Charlie said, no, it shouldn't exist because that's a newly created word or something. Like, I have empathy for his kids and his wife and what they're going through, because I don't.
Yeah, same, of course. I have so much empathy. So much empathy.
I do not.
So much empathy for the animals. For non-human stuff.
No one should go through that.
Now, Ilhan Omar
no one should go through the thing that we were just spending the last 10 minutes justifying.
Saying that she's the victim of people like Nancy Mace and President Trump, and then she goes on to do the I'm better than Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk said empathy doesn't exist, but I actually have empathy,
which is why she kind of supports the murder.
All again, defaming him, quote lining him, lying.
Oh man, I've never been so sure empathy is a scam until I started seeing these people celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. Dude, we can't play this game. We have to stop fucking, we're talking past each other. You don't have empathy. You're retarded.
About him, and let me just play Charlie Kirk's statement about empathy so you can understand that he in no way, shape, or form was saying that you shouldn't feel for anybody else's pain.
Instead, it is to say you're actually not in pain. Well, just a little.
Dude, I miss him. Every time I see a clip of him, I miss it, man. It's crazy.
A very short clip. Bill Clinton in the 1990s. It was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics. Sympathy, I prefer.
He's right.
That's a separate topic for a different time.
So what Charlie...
Again, not that empathy is something that people shouldn't have. See, my example is, I think every mother should have empathy for her children, right? So, like, when her child is in pain, she'll be able to immediately understand, right? If the child is crying, is the child hungry? Does the child need a diaper change? Does the child have a stomachache? Is the child sick, you know? And the mother, with her empathy, is able to, like, immediately understand what the kid is going through, to do her best to raise their kid, you know? Like, that's where empathy is really powerful. Not empathy towards the people that literally want to kill you. That's not empathy. Like, fucking hell, dude.
Kirk was saying right there.
I have so much empathy for the killers and the terrorists, but I don't have empathy for the innocent man talking to the college students. Then that's a joke. That's a literal joke. It's a scam. You don't have empathy. You have selective empathy, which essentially is just preferences and your own version of racism that you made up in your head is actually a good thing because you're so morally superior.
Is that he doesn't value empathy because he finds it to be fake, new agey, and phony. In reality, you can't really put yourself in someone's shoes, and despite the fact that Ilhan Omar is saying that she has all this empathy, she decided to go on this 3-minute rant where she defamed Charlie Kirk before she said, I feel so much for Charlie Kirk's wife and children. Well, then why are you defaming him right after he died when you know that his wife and children in the future are going to see you doing so?
Because it's all a lie. It's all a lie. They cry out that they are victims as they attack you. They cry out that they're in pain as they strike you. Okay? Like, it is all a lie. Saying that it was a right-wing shooter the entire time. There was not a single truthhood that I feel like was repeated at all. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Charlie Kirk says is that we should have sympathy.
Like, everything that she says is a tool and a weapon. It's an emotional weapon that she has, that she can wield. I have empathy, and therefore it's a good thing that Charlie Kirk was killed, because I have empathy and I know that he was bad.
Sympathy is this idea that I suffer along with you, like I understand your suffering.
Well, the difference is empathy is experiential and sympathy is intellectual. That's the major difference. I do think that you should have sympathy for everybody, and I think that you should have empathy for, you know, especially people around you, your family, your children, especially. And for whatever reason, in our hyper-feminized modern society, empathy took over. Because, well, I mean, let's be real, voting based on random emotions and illogical bullshit has kind of taken over the West. And that's kind of why we're in this position right now.
I'm not in your shoes. I'm not...
Empathy for the illegal immigrant rapist that's just trying to leave his war-torn country and come to a new land. Empathy towards that person, right? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Putting myself in your situation in this new agey, oftentimes BS way that Ilhan Omar's advocating for, I actually feel pain because you're in pain, not because I'm putting myself in your position. Because in reality, Ilhan Omar just demonized Charlie Kirk repeatedly throughout the course of this 3 minutes, and the reason why she did that is to make you know that you are not like him. You shouldn't feel bad for him. You shouldn't see yourself as similar to him. It's dehumanizing. And to wrap that all up with some nonsense about empathy is absurd in every possible way, because what she's saying is that this can't be you. He's destructive. He's monstrous. And then saying, oh, I feel so empathetic. Again, Ilhan, shut up.
It's
now
a game.
The video that
It's
Ilhan
a game.
Omar retweeted, and by the way, still has up on her Twitter account right now.
Yeah, I just saw
that she then called Nancy Mace out because she put this in a censure resolution against her. That she never said the thing.
Mace! They need to fucking destroy. They need to get rid of him, bro. They gotta deport her. Deport her!
That Nancy Mace claimed that she's...
Sorry, bro. We have enough incest in Alabama. We don't need yo ass here, too.
While simultaneously, she retweeted this without any commentary on her page because she agrees with it. So again, if I retweeted, let's say,
Retweets are the coward's commentary. Hassan Piker does the same thing. He recently retweeted a completely fabricated fake story that I'm a stalker, all right? And he knows it's a lie, but he retweeted it anyway because it was just a retweet. It's the coward's way to slander your enemies. Yeah, I'll show you. Like, I'll show you. Let me find it. Like, this is it's crazy that, like, we're living in this timeline where this is actually real. So this is Hassan, everyone's favorite leftist streamer. So he retweets this. This is what led to this creepy ass idiot to this point, with me reacting to a Jaden Animations video, with Jaden, a comment from Jaden Animations saying, "Can you fuck off?" implying that I am a stalker. This is a fake screenshot. This comment never happened. This is edited. This literally is not real. This is not a real thing that happened. To be clear, this is fake. This has 100,000 likes. You know, 4 million views. Retweeted by Hassan Piker. This is not real. So anyway, like, dude, we're living in that timeline. That's how they operate. That's literally how they operate. They will retweet fake shit. They will push fake stories. They will slander you, but they didn't do it. It was just a retweet. Like, I understand exactly how evil it is, because it happens to me.
Nazi memes all the time on my channel, like horrible racist things like that, and I didn't add any commentary, and then you said, "Hey Sean, it seems like you're in favor of neo-Nazi stuff," and I said, no, I just retweeted that. Nobody would accept that response. In fact, I never do anything like that right now, and a bunch of people like Ilhan Omar would label me all of these horrible things, even though I make sure not to share that kind of crap,
right.
just like I make sure not to share other crap that I don't agree with. But Ilhan Omar doesn't want to be held to that standard, while at the same time she's going to lecture you about empathy.
Charlie Kirk is dead, and before his body got cold, the far right propped his corpse up as a cudgel for their holy war. I've never
Killed by a radical leftist, and we actually would like it if they don't kill more of them. So no, you're retarded.
never seen more people within the same sentence both condemn political violence and then immediately call for political violence against their...
Who did that? Dude, these people, they're so fucking disingenuous, it's crazy. Did you see anyone on the right calling for political violence? Anyone? Like one guy? Did you see a single guy calling for political violence? One? I didn't. I saw thousands of leftists saying you should have killed his whole family, should kill more of them, should have gotten Trump. I saw thousands of those. I didn't see a single guy on the right calling for political violence. Even Nick Fuentes, far right, banned everywhere. He didn't call for political violence. Well, like literally, what are we fucking doing? No one, not one.
Opposition. Don't be fooled. These people don't give a single about Charlie Kirk. They are just using his death to further their Christo-fascist agenda.
I cried for Charlie Kirk. Okay, so you could say that I didn't care. Like it's your. I'm really glad that the empaths. All right, dude, the empaths came together to tell me that we didn't care. But well, you're wrong, and we all know that you're wrong. So your lies mean nothing.
So right off the top, this particular...
And also, again, I'm not Christian. So the Christo-fascist agenda is clearly not exactly super accurate. Okay? Alright? Let's not label me a Christo-fascist. These people are like fucking disingenuous fucks. It's unreal. I believe that Charlie Kirk was a man of God that fought for God. And you killed him for it. And it was truly one of the most remarkable instances of televised evil I've ever seen in my life. And my life changed forever because of it.
A video that was shared by Ilhan Omar ends up saying that the people who are concerned and upset about Charlie Kirk's death, his long-term friends, don't actually care about him. They didn't actually like him. They don't actually feel any sympathy. And one of the reasons why is because the very same people that are extending condolences to Charlie Kirk are actually calling for violence in the same breath. And by the way, while this is true for some people on the right...
Is it? I didn't see anyone on the right calling for violence. Maybe someone did. I did not see a single one.
Some people were getting a little bit crazy. The fact is, the people who are doing this are unambiguously on the left. This guy calls Charlie Kirk, and by the way, the people that are supporting him right now, Christo-fascist, so religious...
And that's the new thing, religious fascism. They say in the same breath as defending radical Islam. Like, we have to realize that this is like, it's a joke propped up on a lie, propped up on a farce. Like, literally, it's insane that we need to live like this. Live like this where people refuse.
Fascists. You know who believes something similar to that? Tyler Robinson, who again was motivated by his indoctrination into the LGBTQ agenda, and of course saw Charlie Kirk as a hate that could not be negotiated with.
I mean, to be honest, that's kind of what's being repeated by the politicians. Why wouldn't they see him as a hate that can't be negotiated with?
This was retweeted, by the way, a day after he was killed by Ilhan Omar. So she is also saying that Charlie Kirk is a Christo-fascist, a Christian fascist, just so you guys understand what's going on right here.
By the way, I made a video a while back because I've noticed that this is a rising prominent thing on the left, and unfortunately not enough people on the right are talking about it. I don't know why it is that people on the right, even people that do believe in God, are really scared to talk about God. I think it's because, like, I know that whenever I get a couple of people, you know, like, eye roll. You know, I get that. And I don't care. You have every right to believe what you want. I have the right to believe what I want. I will pray that you see the light, but you have every right to disagree with me. I don't care. But the reality is, I made this video a while back. I think it's almost like a month ago, almost 2 months ago, where Hassan basically made an entire video in a gay-ass uniform, basically saying that Christianity is Nazism. Basically, that I like, dude, literally. He did a whole thing, like, you know, he would look at religious couples, and he would be like, wow, this is fascism. So like, this is a very big issue. Really, honestly. Also, Christo-fascist is a despicable term, immediately implying that, you know, Christians are all fascists if they actually follow basic biblical morals, which is insane, because biblical morals are, in my opinion, the best set of moral guidelines any person could live by, not only to find God, but also to give you the most peaceful, best, most fulfilled lifestyle. Like, it's pretty hilarious how it works out that way, right? You look at biblical values and it's like, you know, treat people the way you want to be treated and build a family and have children. Like, dude, that's biblical values, man. Christo-fascist.
Before I continue, I need to say that this revisionist history about who Kirk was is just as perplexing. I'm seeing all these heartfelt statements coming from Democratic politicians and celebrities applauding Kirk as some bastion of free speech and debate.
He was the guy that had free speech and debate, and they killed him for it. He should be applauded.
Kirk was a reprehensible human being. He enacted his
Thank you for your random analysis, rando.
Political agenda by preying upon weak-minded people. He took complex socioeconomic issues and simplified them by pointing fingers at outgroups, demonizing those groups, and then sicking his massive following on them.
Okay, just to respond, why didn't you debate him? Beat him in a debate then. He did tons of debates. So debate him. Let the better idea win. Let the better idea win, man. Instead of random saying, he dumbed down complicated things. He made it in a way that's not true and lame and gay. Thank you for your analysis. So debate him. I never saw him call people for violence or call people to harass people. Never saw him do any of that. Like, dude, that's why this shit is so unbelievably fake.
He was a stochastic terrorist, an adamant
A stochastic terrorist? Holy fuck! Hassan Piker's a stochastic terrorist. I would argue that Destiny and Vosh are also stochastic terrorists. Alright, I would argue that Ilhan Omar might even be a stochastic terrorist. Holy shit! This man has never endorsed violence, ever.
So again, this guy's like, oh, he's
transphobe. Who fucking cares? Bro, every single person that's like, transphobe, homophobe, but supports Palestine just shows that they have the cognitive dissonance of a complete fucking psychopath. He's homophobic. Anyway, free Palestine. I know they kill gays, but whatever.
Simplifying complex socioeconomic issues, and he makes it digestible, and he preys on the weak. Then, of course, he calls him a stochastic terrorist. He calls him a transphobe. Again, all the things, by the way, that ended up leading to Charlie Kirk being murdered. All the defamation that was against him and the right prior to that was...
They literally say he's too hateful. That's literally it. They said he's hateful. Alright, you know, like they say he's hateful. They wrote anti-fascist on the bullet. You are the fucking people that are doing this. You don't want a definition for stochastic terrorism. Stochastic terrorism refers to the use of mass communication to provoke random acts of ideologically motivated violence that are statistically predictable but individually unpredictable. That is what the left is doing. The left is an organization of stochastic terrorists. Charlie Kirk never fucking said anything, even remotely, that could be possibly interpreted as stochastic terrorism.
Retweeted by Ilhan Omar immediately after he was shot. Right after Charlie Kirk is assassinated.
Yeah, that's his son. That's why I call him, because it's him.
Ilhan Omar looks at this video and says, oh, I'm the queen of empathy. You guys don't understand that. You're not as highly evolved as me. True. And by the way, this video right here proves that Charlie Kirk is a stochastic terrorist, which means that he was ratcheting up the rhetoric to make some unhinged person that they don't directly inspire to action, but again, due to the stuff that's floating around, ends up acting on their behalf because this is what they wanted. Oh, also, by the way, Charlie Kirk is reprehensible, Christo-fascist, just like most people on the right. These people are absolutely horrible. They're trying to enact their agenda upon you.
Bro, this is the stochastic terrorist call for violence, that people on the right are all Christo-fascists. Like, if there's really a fascist uprising in the government, the only solution is violence, right? If there's a fascist stranglehold on the country, then you need to be violent in return. So inherently, it is a call for violence. And I'm tired of pretending it's not?
They're a threat to you. Again, some hate can't be negotiated with. Shout out to their boy Tyler Robinson, who they didn't even realize wrote that exact same thing at the time that she shared this. And again, she still left it up. But yeah, the Charlie Kirk stochastic terrorist. Talking to college kids, stochastic terrorism. Did I forget to mention transphobe?
And with his last dying words, he was spewing racist dog whistles.
Oh no, he dog whistled, guys. We should kill him. Dude, that's what we're listening to. That's what we're listening to. Holler it left. They want you dead.
We have another lie right here that in Charlie Kirk's last moments, his last words were him spewing a racist dog whistle. Charlie
It's also not true. His last words were talking about how trans people are violent, statistically, which is a fact.
Kirk was asked, by the way, who is behind the mass shootings. Now, Charlie Kirk asked,
Are we including gang violence?
Gang-affiliated shootings? Because one of the things that the left likes to do is end up using the raw numbers of all these mass shootings that happen in the country from the gun violence archive, while simultaneously trying to make the case that the majority of mass shooters are straight white males. But the thing is, if you use that big inflated number from the gun violence archive, what you end up discovering is that the majority of the mass shootings are gang shootings that happen in urban areas.
These people that say that Charlie Kirk deserves to get murdered for dog whistling are fucking freaking out that Jimmy Kimmel was fired for pushing dangerous propaganda, running defense for a terrorist. We on the same page?
Drive-by shootings, and again, the people committing those are disproportionately and overwhelmingly black males. So he asked a clarifying question, but this son of a bitch, and by the way, Ilhan Omar, by proxy, because she retweeted is calling that a racist dog whistle. So
yeah, saying that mentioning statistics is now a racist dog whistle. It's fucking insane that we're living like this, man. It is crazy. It's crazy that we need to live like this, where the left will manipulate shit so obviously cruelly and in such bad faith. Like, dude, we have to be at least on the same page in reality. If you're still thinking there's more than two genders, man, we're obviously not on the same page. If you're not willing to accept the factual statistic that the majority of gun violence is done, the majority of murder is perpetrated by black people in the country, if you're not willing to engage in statistical facts, we can't even compute. We can't even fucking compute, man. We cannot communicate. Like, literally, if you're so afraid to even mention facts in reality, there is no connection, and you just need to be destroyed.
Acknowledging the reality, acknowledging the danger.
Not violently destroyed. Proverbially obliterated. Metaphorically fucked in the ass so hard, you have diarrhea for life. Metaphorically, your anal fissures will ruin your life from the metaphorical sodomy that should happen to you. All right, we get the idea.
That the left plays with their stats
in Minecraft.
That's a racist dog whistle. And again, this is the real reason why Ilhan Omar hates somebody like Charlie Kirk. Not because she thinks he's a liar. It's because he was telling the truth.
Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein.
Hated him for telling the truth. Where have I heard a parable like that one?
And his monster shot him through the neck.
Again, this is the video that Ilhan Omar shared on Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Yeah, she needs to be deported immediately. There's no reason why this should be someone in the United States Congress. I'm actually shocked and appalled that this is someone that actually exists in the United States Congress. Like, how could you possibly be part of a functioning democracy with free speech when you're kind of supporting murdering a man for talking? Like, dude, literally, how are you even here? Holy shit.
One day after he was assassinated, retweeted on her page, where this guy says that the assassin, the man who murdered Charlie Kirk, by the way, because he believed that some hate can't be negotiated with, I wonder what side of the political aisle is pushing that Charlie Kirk is this hateful, horrible person, a Christo-fascist as laid out in this particular video, a stochastic terrorist, ironically, coming from this particular video, and then says, oh, the assassin was created by Charlie Kirk. So this is what happens. You get assassinated, then people like Ilhan Omar defame you, they trash you, they lie about you, they quote mine you, they do everything and anything in order to basically justify your murder, and then they blame you.
That's it. And people aren't willing to engage in good faith. This is a justification of murder. Because if this could happen to Charlie Kirk, and everyone will kind of like support it and say that, well, actually he was a bad guy, let's run defense for the people celebrating, you're kind of giving a green light to keep doing this. Like, dude, you think this was bad? Wait until Trump dies.
You for it. They say you're responsible because how dare you speak up in a way that Ilhan Omar disagrees with. Insane, disgusting, horrible, horrendous. But again, Ilhan Omar's like, oh, I never said the things that Nancy Mace wrote down in a resolution. I just shared this video.
I never said it. I just retweeted it and published this lie to millions.
Tweeted it without any commentary at all whatsoever, by the way. And
the leftist slime tactic. It really is. Because again, you have to understand, these people will do anything and everything in their power to destroy you. They will slander you. They will repost things without commentary and claim that it's not their words, it's someone else's words. But they just reposted it to show it to people. But you know, they will do everything. And if that fails, they will kill you. They will dance on your grave. They will justify it, and they will kill you again.
I didn't take it down even after it was discovered that the shooter of Charlie Kirk was motivated by LGBT stuff. Even after it was discovered that the shooter of Charlie Kirk did it because the shooter found him to be too hateful.
And all of that said, none of us should want to live in a society where these types of killings become the norm. It's the sign of a sickened...
The norm, notice. He doesn't say that this killing was specifically bad. This killing he supports. He just doesn't want it to be the norm.
Dying world, and we can both denounce this violence and also realize that Kirk and his ilk's rhetoric are why it happens. And you can see
yeah, it's because of Kirk that Kirk was killed, not because of a radical leftist that's being spurred on by retards in society. These people all need to get fucking immediately thrown into a hole. All of them. Legally, of course. I'm talking about perfectly legally, within the legal bounds of the law. Legally, these people need to get fucking obliterated. Like, it is insane that we're doing this.
Rhetoric continuing after his death.
Guys, I condemn it, but I'm also encouraging it, and we should kill more of them.
Far-right extremists are clogging social media, practically begging...
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Oh, literally, get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Far-right extremists clogging what are you talking about?
To use his death as an excuse to enact massive retributory violence against Democrats or liberals or left.
Except there was no fucking violence. There was no retaliatory violence. None. It didn't happen. Bro, leftists killed Charlie Kirk, and then leftists killed more people in retaliation to themselves killing Charlie Kirk.
They are looking for any excuse to justify their desire to kill their opposition.
Again,
what the fuck are we doing here? This guy is literally like, okay, so now we killed our guy. Now they're gonna try to kill us, so we should kill them first. Wow, what a solution. Guys. We gotta kill them and then kill them before they kill us and then kill them again. Base. That's what we're dealing with.
Shared by Ilhan Omar, it turns out that the far right is using all this language talking about how they're gonna enact violent retribution.
Which didn't happen.
And they're justifying this against the left, even though, again, nobody did that.
I can't believe Ilhan Omar retweeted that. Like, I'm shocked. Like, she literally should get deported. She needs to get deported. Charlie Kirk was not even a hateful guy. That's the craziest part. He was a good-ass man. A man that fought for God and fought for what he believed in, spoke freely, didn't enforce violence, didn't commit violence, didn't commit crimes, didn't incite violence. He was just a good man, engaging in exactly what the founding fathers of the country actually wanted. The civil discourse, to change minds through discussion. He literally is the quintessential American. The quintessential American. A Christian man that believed in what he fought for, that believed in God, fought for God and country, built a family, had some children, never engaged in any form of violence. He is the quintessential American. A civilian, he's not a politician, just a civilian. Didn't have any power, didn't have the ability to make laws or change laws. Insanity, bro. Insane.
Thing was they did candlelight vigils. By the way, candlelight vigils that were then attacked again by the left. In fact, it is the left that were calling for more people to be killed, calling for Charlie Kirk's wife to be killed, even calling for his children, ages 3 and 1, to be killed. And yet this guy is flipping it, and again, it is shared by Ilhan Omar. Now, you want to compare and contrast that to George Floyd, by the way, somebody brought up by Ilhan Omar and Mehdi Hassan, and the response to that, and that
Dude,
was...
I love that they bring up George Floyd. It just goes to show that their values are in the toilet. Every single time these people actually bring up George Floyd, it's literally such a joke.
Record-breaking rioting across the country. Again, the first 90 days of the George Floyd riots, we had 540 different riots in this country. That's insane and absurd. That is how the left reacts. And what happened during that rioting? You had a bunch of people excusing it. You had people promoting the book, The Case for Rioting. You had John Oliver putting on some black woman who talked about how it's okay to loot and destroy Target.
That's right. Hassan Piker also said that looting is okay. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Black people don't own anything.
Like, dude, this is insane. It's insane why every single person that commit damage shouldn't be held fully accountable to the full extent of the law.
What are you doing in my army, weirdo?
We have laws. We have the ability to actually do this shit. Now is the time, man. It's getting worse. It's slipping away further and further. I don't want another Charlie Kirk to get killed, man. Like, every day is another day that should have been spent enforcing the law. It's crazy. We have laws. Fucking enforce that shit immediately. You're violent, jail. You're looting, jail. You're inciting violence, jail. Pushing communist propaganda, jail. Jail. It's that simple. It really is. And you know what? If they did this shit for a little bit, shit would slow down. It would.
She's screaming into the camera, and everybody had to pretend like this was normal, this was powerful, this was a beautiful thing, even though what we were witnessing was the destruction of our country, of our major metropolitan areas, the collapse of law and order over what? Over the death of one person that, again, hadn't been adjudicated, but at that point in time, the cops were immediately arrested, so even if we were demanding justice, it was already in the process of
So to be hot in a black neighborhood. Call you racist. Good thing we have body cams.
No, this is just not reality. But again, according to Ilhan Omar, it's okay to defame you after you've been murdered for your speech and then pretend that you're responsible for your own murder
and then say that you're the empath
for your speech, and then say that you're potentially going to react violently when in reality that did not happen. That did not occur. And by the way, I sincerely hope that nobody takes any action into their own hands. Nobody disgraces Charlie Kirk, because guess what? We are not the left. We are not the people who think that the whole world needs to burn down because we're angry about something.
As of writing this, we have no idea why Kirk was shot, yet the fucking President of the United States is already using this as an opportunity to demonize his opposition.
Alright, well, it turns out it was the left, so you're retarded. The left celebrated. We saw thousands of people celebrating.
The hypocrisy is astounding and
he was right.
Terrifying in how callous and calculated it is.
Calculated? But you think the president got Kirk killed on purpose so that he could blame the left? You retarded?
These same folks begging for blood were silent.
Begging for blood? Who begged for blood?
When Democratic leader of the Minnesota House, Melissa Hortman, and
oh my God, everyone keeps doing this. It's crazy.
And her husband Mark were assassinated in their.
They were assassinated by a leftist.
Homes.
So the video goes on.
They were killed by a left. This is insane, man.
To list the same exact grievances, the same exact talking points that all of these people are using.
It's crazy.
They talk about the former Speaker of the Minnesota House. By the way, nobody talks about the fact that.
To be clear, first of all, nobody heard of her. All right, listen. Charlie Kirk was a public figure that was talked about, that was demonized on mainstream media. He was demonized on mainstream media for years. Okay, Younger called him a fucking fascist. Hassan called him a Nazi. CNN called him a Nazi fascist. No one fucking heard of him. I'm not saying that that's obviously better or worse. It's just the reality is this wasn't galvanized by the media. That's one. Two, it was a leftist that killed him. Okay, it was a leftist. It was a guy that was an appointee friend of Tim Walz who had no King's flyers in his car. It was a leftist guy that killed her for personal reasons because she voted against her own Democrat party. Like, dude, it's the most bad case in the universe.
No one was celebrating her death. They bring up George.
Also true. Not a single person on the right was celebrating that she was murdered.
Floyd, it's perfectly valid to debate the manner of George Floyd's death, and it's perfectly valid to tear down this saint image that they built up of George Floyd. But to be clear, nobody was celebrating George Floyd's death either. And again, he says, oh, it's all about gaining power and whatnot, when what we see right here is that this is all about the left gaining power. They're the ones who are demonizing you.
True.
They're the ones who are blaming you.
The leftist killed Charlie Kirk. The left immediately condemns the right. Tries to seize power. That's where we're at.
And they're like, how dare you assume that the person who is behind this was a left-winger just because he shot one of the most prominent Trump supporters in the entire country.
Completely correct.
And again, was very likely always going to be 90% plus chance motivated by left-wing ideology. And again, the fact that these very same people immediately after we heard this person's identity ended up propagandizing their audience into believing that this guy was a groyper based on nothing. There was no evidence of this, make no mistake about it, shows you exactly who they are and who they've always been. So yeah, Ilhan Omar, who by the way apparently was attacking somebody at a church today, she was allowed to speak at a church saying it was BS that you're talking about Charlie Kirk.
It's funny because I always thought churches like tried to stay away from demons, but anyway, I guess he was invited into this one.
For who he actually is, wanted to defame him even more. They're not stopping. They're still cheering it on. You're disgusting. You're horrible. You're terrible. And of course, because Republicans are Republicans, you were able to escape censure by one vote because this is the game. Anytime you need something passed by the Republicans, this is the Thomas Massey rule. You're always going to get the exact number of Republicans that you need to either pass it or if you want to vote it down, vote it down
slimy,
-1. And that's exactly what happened.
Honestly, I think it's largely because Republicans try their best to operate off of some sort of moral code, and leftists operate purely on justifying the ends. The ends justify the means. Like the left is a purely utilitarian movement at this point. They want results, and they will do anything. They will call you a Nazi and a fascist. They only want the result. They don't care. They know they're lying, and they don't care because they want the result. They want your destruction, and that's where we're at, man. That is where we're at.
Censure vote, and
some would argue that it's the last act of desperate people on the way to their destruction. I hope that's true, because this shit is not tolerable.
Absolutely shameful. And make no mistake about it, the reason they're defaming Charlie Kirk after he died, the reason they're co-mining him after he died, is because
it's to justify the murder, so hopefully more right-wing guys can get killed.
Despite their appeals to empathy, despite them saying that they condemn political violence, you know, got to make it as vague as humanly possible, don't want to talk about the specific assassination of Charlie Kirk, is because they want to signal their base that they're fine with it. And even if they don't want to outright say it, and even if they don't believe it, they know that their base believes it, and that's why they're putting out these signals.
That's
you
right.
Know what? Those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, these are violent fucking people, and they need to be destroyed. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, the Ilhan Omar, she's getting deported. It's happening, alright? Married your brother to get fucking into the country illegally? Yeah, you can get fucked, bitch. I'm sorry, man. We can't do this. It's literally the most obvious case of marriage fraud I've ever seen in my entire life. Plus all the anti-American bullshit. I don't know why. The suicidal empathy in America, and in the West in general, is so hell-bent on importing people that want to destroy us. I say I don't know why, but I do know why. And that's for another day. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Shout out to women voting, and I'll see you in the next one, gamers. That was hilarious, right? That was a joke. That was just kidding. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.
Losing it, let's hear from Angelina Jolie, who seems to be suffering from a severe case of TDS. Apparently, she doesn't even recognize her own country. Maybe get out of that bubble, love.
I love my country, and but I don't at this time recognize my country. And I think that's, but I've always lived internationally. I've always, my family's international. My friends, my life, my worldview is equal, united, international. So anything, anywhere that divides or, of course, limits personal expressions and freedoms and from anyone, I think is very dangerous.
Oh, you know what that nonsense is about? It's the whole Jimmy Kimmel saga. But I don't recall Angelina Jolie or any other Hollywood blowhard saying anything when Roseanne was cancelled from her own show, or Gina Carano, a fellow actress, who made a very mainstream comment and saw her career destroyed. Or when conservatives from all walks of life have been silenced. But suddenly, Angelina and the rest of Hollywood are concerned about free speech. You know, the very same folks irate about Jimmy Kimmel's little suspension, all those Democrats and commentators. And let's not forget, he was suspended for lying on air and refusing to apologise. The same people irate about that and who suddenly care about the First Amendment were not too concerned when it was their ideological opponents being silenced and being platformed from the president down. You think we've forgotten this?
Shouldn't be banned from one platform
platform and not others for providing misinformation out there.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, especially around our democracy.
There are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda, whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged, is something that would be a better deterrent.
If people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and it has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block. It's really hard to govern today.
This is a matter of corporate responsibility. Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
The First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says. There are limits, and that's important. And what this committee has been trying to do for the last year and a half is to chill the federal government from monitoring what is going on social media.
When you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air, what isn't.
My biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways.
And thanks to Tom Elliott for that compilation. And here's another hypocrite to add to the list, The View's Sunny Hostin. She was all for Roseanne being axed, but Jimmy Kimmel is apparently beyond reproach.
Our founders drafted the First Amendment specifically to protect the rights of citizens to criticize the government. When you cross that kind of societal norm, you must pay the consequence. And firing her was the right thing to do. I'm thrilled that ABC did it.
Let's check in with Rachel Maddow, MSNBC anchor Rachel Maddow, and here she is doing a free ad for Antifa and any other leftist group wanting to protest the Trump administration.
You may have already heard this, but the organizers of the No Kings rallies, remember the No Kings rallies that happened back in June? Those huge protests in June that attracted more than 5 million people across the country. Organizers from the No Kings events that happened back then have just now announced the date for the next No Kings demonstrations. They're going to be October 18th. So it's going to be no thrones, no crowns, no kings. Saturday, October 18th. That's about 6 weeks from now.
Did you get that? Is it in your diary yet? Don't miss out. Rachel needs you out there. And the ad went on and on. Listen.
Indivisible organizer Ezra Levin did an interview about it with Rolling Stone today, in which he told Rolling Stone that there isn't a single large, flagship event they want everybody to travel to on October 18th. Instead, they just want protests everywhere.
That's what passes for news reporting on MSNBC. And talking about protests, have a look at these lefties losing it, trying to behead a Trump effigy. Granny has lost her marbles. These are the people we need to unify with. No thank you. Now here is one way to stop protesters from being pests. Here are some trans activists trying to disrupt a Turning Point event being drowned out by chants of USA. Fun. Now let's go back to The View for another meltdown, this time courtesy of Ana Navarro, who's having paranoid fantasies about Trump coming to get her.
This is what dictators and authoritarians do. It does not matter the ideology. At first, they come for the people with big platforms. At first, they silence the press, but then they come for all of us because their intent is to scare us, into silence and self-censorship. And look at the things that this government has done. They kicked the AP out of the Oval Office for not saying Gulf of America. They cut the funding of NPR and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Yes, they did that, Anna, because those organisations were not news sites but leftist propaganda outfits, and they're free to exist, but they do not deserve taxpayer funds. They're not entitled to funding from the US government, but Anna wasn't done yet. The meltdown continues.
And I will say to you all, to all of us, look, we have seen tech titans go into the Oval Office. We are seeing media moguls, publishers of newspapers. We are seeing all of them try to make the peace with Donald Trump. A bully always comes back for more. So they need to stand up, and we need to demand the same from ourselves.
Now, in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, we have seen a real awakening, a call to action with millions proclaiming "We are Charlie" and wanting to continue his incredible work. Well, let's have a look at a man doing just that, visiting university campuses, setting up a table and inviting students, faculty, anyone with a differing view to talk, to debate ideas. The far left, the unhinged, hateful left, aren't they interested in articulating their positions? They prefer to do this.
Right here! Every single one of you I hope you realize that! Can you condemn Charlie Kirk? The assassination of Charlie? I don't care! Why don't you care? Why don't you care? Hate every single person out here! Get away from this table! You care? What matters is lives! That is crazy. Hey, get off our table! Get off our table!
What can you say about that? And then there are the ones pulling crap like this and thinking they're awfully clever.
You escape to the world or wherever. White people will never have an obligation to return to your master. That's something inscribed in law.
That's not critical race theory. You can just die it down. Well, I'll tell you what Kimberly Crenshaw calls critical race theory. She believes that a society that is colorblind is actually a racist society.
There's our evidence.
Yep, the suspect looks exactly like you expect him to look. Let's bring in the man you saw in that video, David Kay. David, you and your mate could be putting yourselves in peril trying to talk to these folks. Why do you do it?
Rita, thank you so much for having me on. Honestly, a week ago, 4 fellas got on the call and they decided, hey, listen, we're not going to let terrorists terrorize us on a daily basis on our college campuses, especially after assassinating somebody like Charlie Kirk. We understand that freedom of speech, especially on campuses for conservatives, is non-existent, it's under threat. So regardless of what kind of lunatics we encounter, and as you can see, this is Atlanta, Georgia, it's one of the craziest places that I've been to on a college campus, regardless of how crazy they are, regardless of how they act, how they treat us, we keep going back and having these conversations with us. And we're not going to treat them the way they treat us. We believe that having civil, tolerant discussions with them may get through some people, not all of them, and definitely not the majority of them. But I think the main thing here is that if we can sway just one person out of 100 people that we talk to, their mind, who they will vote for next time, how do they perceive Charlie Kirk, for example, I think that our mission is successful, and we are starting to see that.
Tell me about the impact Charlie's death had on you personally, to see such a gentle soul assassinated in that manner, and then the ugliness that followed with people celebrating that death, justifying it. How did that impact you personally?
It's absolutely terrible, Rita. I've been in this space for about 1.5 years, and my father always told me, if you want to be successful in this space, find somebody that you want to role model after. And I just so happened to land on Charlie for the simple fact that I really do believe that if you want to engage in public discourse, it shouldn't be about gotchas or making people look silly. You should try and change people's perception and the way they think about things. And the only way that I think you can change my mind, for example, is not by being mean to me or making me look silly. It's by actually engaging in civil discussions. And more importantly, being tolerant of an individual's position. That is Charlie Kirk. That is what Charlie taught me. I've never met him in my life, but man, millions of us feel like they've met him, especially after yesterday. What I've learned and why I truly do love what Charlie's style is, and I call it Charlie's style, is because being civil and tolerant of individuals that you disagree with is what is America is all about. And I really hope that that is what we continue to go on here, because it's under true threat in America now. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, today you were at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Let's just have a look at a little of how that went.
There are some people who are justified in using violence and other people who don't have that right.
Would it be morally acceptable if we're asking? Like, if you came up with a gun and shot us in the face, like, for a sign, would that be?
Some people would argue that it'd be morally right to shoot y'all in the face.
I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy.
If people made the argument that giving a platform to...
What do you think about Charlie?
There's so many Charlies.
Charlie Kirk.
There's so many Charlies.
Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated behind a table just like this one.
I know that's the person that's trending, but Charlie Kirk was a byproduct of people like this.
David, I applaud your patience and your civility in not losing your temper, but is there any chance that people who seem to be so utterly broken?
Unfortunately, Rita, with practice that people go around, right? Kim and I had this discussion on our drive back from the university. This person made himself look terrible and made us look incredible, regardless of what we said. Why? At the end, we wanted to speak their hand. We did. We wanted to do so. That's when they told us this entire that they could shoot someone like in the face and all the other crap that we heard there in the end. It doesn't help them win at all. And the people that may think like they do or that oppose Cam and I's position or what we have there, they see that and nobody can agree with that. As soon as this individual said this, and probably 50% of the people in the crowd didn't agree with us, everyone said, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that. I don't want to misgender the person, so he, she, but I'm still not sure. But unfortunately, we're not really doing that, as much as I want to say that we are. It is more likely for a person that is in the crowd that can share a position that they do, but definitely don't agree with the overall rhetoric that they engage in. Perhaps that's what we're aiming for here.
David, you make a good point there. It's not always about convincing someone who seems to be utterly broken, but it's all those who are watching on, who perhaps are just deciding where they stand and seeing the extremeness, the extremeness of the modern left, I think, is providing a valuable service. But I want to ask you about how you feel personally when you've just conversed with someone and then they say they'd be happy to see you shot in the face. I mean, that must be pretty chilling.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate for someone like myself. This is America. This isn't 2,000 years ago where you disagree with a person and their words hurt you to the point of where you want to go commit a gruesome act of violence. We pointed out at the end. He said that our opinions, our positions, our words truly hurt him or her. And that's the problem that I have, is that if these people truly believe that my words, my positions, my opinion, I don't have executive authority, I'm not a congressman, I can't enact any policy, that hurts them to the point of where they tell me that because of my words they want to shoot me in the face, I can't believe that we got to this point in America. And unfortunately, I don't want to place blame on people. I think it's a little too early to do this, but you can't stop thinking about how these people got here in the first place. Have they been radicalized? Are they mentally ill? Is somebody propagating to them something on mainstream media? Are elected officials inciting this? Why are people suddenly wanting to take things to a violent level or violent measures just because they disagree with my political position? It's absurd and it's sickening. Rita.
It is sickening, and they never consider that of violence, and their words are hurtful and hateful. Being a man who's standing in front of you, that you'd be happy to see them shot in the face. They don't see that as hurtful, but you don't respect their pronouns, and suddenly it is the crime of the century. Now let's look at a little interaction you had at Georgia State University.
If you...
Let me say this to y'all real quick.
We're going to keep talking. We're engaged in civil debate here.
Do not need to be debated about. If y'all believe in something, stand for it, walk away from it.
Hey, give him a mic. Can you come up to the mic and discuss it? Okay. So that's a good example of not liking public discourse.
David, that seems to happen a lot. If a student does want to converse, they're pressured not to by others. Tell me about that intimidation that students face, because there's a lot of self-censoring happening on university campuses.
Absolutely, and they do this while calling us fascists, which is the best thing about this. But in this instance, for example, it didn't work out. It simply didn't work out. Because he said it. If you believe in something, stand for it. He just walked away. Why would you walk away? We live in America where we have, at least to a degree, the freedom of speech that is given to us in the Constitution. To infringe on it a bit. But we live in one of the only places that has this. Europe doesn't even have this. So why would you walk away, especially at a college campus where you're meant to have your ideas challenged by somebody like myself, for example, that is considered radical in majority of these people's eyes? I'm very sorry.
I'm tired.